Oh, and we are live again. Live again. Amazing, amazing. Absolutely, just completely brilliant. Might I add, just completely brilliant. So, yeah, we're back, and hopefully the septum emoji is working. So we have the MAGA hat, and we have the septum emoji for both sides. We gotta show love for both sides, every single side, as always. You know, gotta show the love. And we're going live every single day of 2026. So make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. And are we talking about the most expensive lie ever built? The White House just spent over 300 million United States dollars on a ballroom. A ballroom. We're gonna play some soccer in there, some basketball, some racquetball. You never know. You know what a ballroom is? It's where presidents throw parties, dance, celebrate, pretend everything is normal, right? Except this ballroom has a problem. It's sitting on top of a classified military bunker that they won't let Congress see the blueprints for. That's not architecture, chat. That is a metaphor, and metaphors don't cost 300 million unless they're trying to tell you something. Allegedly. All right, let's continue with Ian. Teach us something, Ian.
Likely or unlikely you think this scenario is. But if you think it's not a potential scenario here, you're fucking retarded.
Uh-oh.
And you should probably read some books. And the fact that it is even a potential scenario is super dark and super sketchy. And honestly, I don't know if there's anything we can do about it. Aside from stop.
Tara wouldn't trust Congress either. There you go. There you go. Not paid with taxpayer money. Rudy Armenta jumping in on the chat. Thank you, buddy.
Stopping this ballroom. And that brings us back to the ballroom and to the original question. The original, like, weird what's going on here. They never halted the underground construction by law. They only halted the ballroom. So what gives about the push, right? The immediate push, the urgency. We've got to build the ballroom. Why would they fake a shooting, probably, to mass propagandize us to build the ballroom?
Good point.
Right? It's possible that some of it is about the law, and Dre is going to explain that to us in just a second here. It's also possible that, I mean, it's certain that you can't build a secret underground facility with skiffs and all this shit with data centers. You can't build that inside of a giant open pit. China can see. Everyone can see into the pit. Okay? So you actually need the lid on top of the construction to even do the construction. If that makes sense. It took me a few minutes, like, to put that together. But you need the lid, not just for security after it's all built when there's people in it, but you actually need the lid to, like, cover up what's being done underneath a little bit as well. I mean, you can build other lids, but aside from potentially, I mean, I'm not even going into the potential, like, wiring between of, like, hey, I know a country that loves to put cameras in fucking places where things happen. Yeah. But other than that, I think the most complete, like the best answer, the reason why it needs to be built now, has to do with legal precedent and the fact that the whole project is at risk. Actually, it's possible it could be stopped. Doubt it, but it's possible because right now, actually, it's in jeopardy, in serious jeopardy. So let me cue it up. 9:37. And I think this is going to get us pretty close to putting a bow on the whole situation.
Okay, now I want to take a minute and back up and explain what this lawsuit that I keep bringing up actually is. Because if you don't know what it's about, then the rest of this probably won't make any sense.
The military is building a big complex under the ballroom, which has come out recently because of a stupid lawsuit that was filed.
So, the National Trust for Historic Preservation is a nonprofit that does the preservation of historic American buildings. And when the Trump administration announced
I'm actually going to take a quick break real quick, and I'll be right back, but Dre looks
summer that they were going to demolish the East Wing of the White House and build a ballroom on top of it, the National Trust sued. But they did not sue to save the East Wing as a historic building. No. They sued because of how the project was being paid for. And that's where this appropriations clause I was talking about comes in, because there's a clause in the United States Constitution.
Yeah, it seems like allegedly sometimes the rich have a way to get around paying for certain things.
That is called the Appropriations Clause, and it's part of Article 1. And what it says in plain terms is that the president cannot spend public money on whatever he wants. Congress controls the purse. Full stop. Now, if the president wanted to spend public money on a major construction project, Congress would have to vote on it first. That is how it's worked since the beginning, since the founding fathers had put this whole thing together. If we all just would take a minute and read it, that would be great. And Trump did not, in fact, ask Congress to vote on the ballroom. He did instead claim that he was paying for it with private donations from companies and individuals, none of it with taxpayer money involved. And the National Trust basically said that that is not what is actually happening. He argued that public money is, in fact, involved, and that the project is using government property and government infrastructure, and that the president is therefore violating the Appropriations Clause by building it without Congress. And Judge Leon's March 31st injunction agreed with enough of the argument to halt the above-ground construction. He wrote that national security is, quote, not a blank check to proceed with otherwise unlawful activity. And Judge Leon, by the way, was brought in under the Bush administration, so good for you, Judge Leon, good for you. And of course, the administration appealed, and the Federal Appeals Court let the construction continue for the moment, but scheduled a full argument on whether any of this is legal for June 5th, 2026. So that is the lawsuit, a constitutional question about whether the president can spend money this way without Congress. And it's scheduled to be heard on June 5th. And it was that letter from the DOJ on Sunday morning that demanded that it be dropped entirely. And let's take a closer look at that letter, okay? Because the more I look at it, the more one word kind of stands out to me. Because the DOJ did not ask the National Trust to delay the lawsuit, right? They did not ask for more time. They did not ask for a temporary pause. They demanded a permanent dismissal. That means they want the case dropped forever with no ruling. And the reason they want it dropped completely is because if the appeals court rules on June 5th, even if they rule in the administration's favor, let's say, that creates a legal precedent. Because a ruling either validates the funding mechanism with some defined limits, or it strikes that mechanism down completely. But either way, the question gets answered in open court and on the record. And if there's one thing I know about a lying administration, is they don't want anything on the record. But the dismissal makes the lawsuit go away without any ruling on whether what the administration is doing is legal. And in that way, the constitutional question never gets answered, and the funding mechanism stays untested, and because it stays untested, it remains available for the next project and the one after that, used by this administration, the next, and the future administration of any party. And then this mechanism becomes the template that every future president can use without anyone ever testing whether it's actually constitutional. That is what a dismissal protects, not the construction, but the mechanism behind the construction.
Not me jumping in on the chat saying, when he taxed everyday items, the rich are the least affected. There you go. And not me says, right now tariffs are making the rich richer. What do you think about that, chat? What do you think? We're going live every day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and if you want, become a member. Yeah, help the channel survive. Throw in a super chat if you want.
And
it also protects the construction as well. But she's right. She's absolutely right. That's what the lawsuit is all about. And that is why the push to build the ballroom. That is why he needs Congress to act. Okay. And I wouldn't be.
Ryan Beans 172 saying having a spam bot is F retarded. We don't have a spam bot. We're just we're taking chats from the vertical stream and the horizontal stream and putting them all together. So if you see the @ sign after a restream, that is the person's username. So yeah, no bots in here, buddy. Thank you for the chat.
Be surprised if there's a private briefing that went out to Congress with top secret classified.
B-res mechanism? What's mechanism, buddy? Lone Wolf entered into the chat.
Information about the continuity of government, the security, the safety, how it's going to protect us from future threats, from the alien invasions, from China's AI tech, from their drones. Who fucking knows, right? But the risks are obvious and numerous. The attack vectors are many. There's going to be a lot of contractors coming in and out of this property, building things.
Oh, thank you, B-res. Appreciate it, brother.
Putting things in there.
Allegedly, they had some people thinking that the next invasion would be an alien invasion. I don't know how accurate that is, but a lot of people say that's the reason there's been so many of those unidentified flying objects, also known as drones in certain areas like in New Jersey.
You know?
One stream is for vertical, like for your phone, and the other stream is for horizontal, like for a computer or a television.
Takes a lot of hands and bodies to build a bunch of data centers and secret military bunkers and bases and shit.
And we're also streaming on Kick and on Rumble and Facebook.
And no one's ever gonna know.
There you go, Paul knows. E.T. drone home.
What's going on down there? So do you trust this administration to take care of that project with all their Israeli buddies? That's the question here. Because a lot of really good journalists have been making an awful lot of noise for a long time about the tech.
We got Whiskey with Water saying, I'm one of those dudes that is part of building data centers. Got any questions? Yeah, got a bunch of questions. What is the reason they would want to build a data center underneath the ballroom? That is very, very wild. And G Madness, good for you, brother. Good for you. You can bag that up and sell it to somebody. I'm sure somebody's into those types of things. And City 0017 says most of those flying objects are from large defense companies reverse engineering existing aircraft. There you go.
Techno-fascist digital mass surveillance thing that is coming.
And Lone Wolf and Cub says, I only trust the Biden auto pen. Oh, let's see if the septum emoji works.
This is exactly what they've been talking about. This is exactly what they've been talking about. A gigantic data center system that unifies all of the government's different data sets.
Chat, we got it up there. Colon, septum, colon. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hilarious, bro.
That's into one aggregate data platform that their super AI God thing, that is not God in any way, can query and tell them things about you, about your loved ones, about your patterns, your beliefs, your ideals, your movements, your bank, your everything. Or it can help them target brown people over there for bombing or whatever else they need to do. It can help Barron pick out his next insider trades, you know? AI is good at all sorts of things. But, you know, all of that, I can understand that technology must march forward.
Okay, I think it's colon _ septum colon.
And it's inevitable that we're headed for techno-fascist hell one way or another. I don't agree, and I will fight it to my last breath. But I could die satisfied having fought that fight and failing if at least it was an American techno-fascism that got us. But I will not accept a foreign fucking government so obviously tricking us into a Israeli techno-fascist state. Because you know what comes with the Israeli
If only I can read some of y'all chats. It's just, that's too wild for me.
version of the techno-fascist state? All their bullshit Jewish thought control. Let's just be real about it, okay? All the anti-Semitism stuff. Okay, rewind. Let's remember some credentials here, like Douglas Murray. Have you ever even been on the top list of the 10 most dangerous anti-Semites in the world? Because I have. I am the 9th most dangerous anti-Semite in the world, according to the government of Israel. And let's be clear. If you get an Israeli techno-fascist global world order slithering in here to America, your boy is not going to be around anymore. I'm going straight to jail. For freedom of speech, obviously. For speeching. Because I actually do not hate Jewish people. I actually don't give a fuck. I hate people that kill children. I hate people that try to destroy freedom of speech. I hate people that lie incessantly. I hate people that abuse women. Those are the kinds of people that I hate. And so, I don't think I need to tell you.
All right, so the emojis don't work in the polls, but that's all right. They work in the chat.
About all of the thought crime bullshit that all of the Jewish organizations in America are constantly pushing. The ADL, the anti-Semitism website lady that runs the thing all on her own that's fucking unhinged. That are constantly, they're hosting seminars and conferences and fucking meetings and writing really annoying legal complaints. They're constantly complaining about Americans exercising their free speech, about how we don't really want to fund killing.
Callie, Chica, you can just leave and then rejoin, and then it should pop up again.
Children and women
Or
in
refresh
foreign
it.
countries. About how we aren't really down with supporting the government of Israel's free health care and their skin banks. Whatever else they're doing over there. So just use your...
Colorado Gamer jumping in on the chat saying the First Amendment has been trampled on and is basically destroyed. And says, and he has a request saying make a video about Trump being a globalist and it's banned. Oh man, there you go. Didn't know that. All right. Good to know. He's defending your YouTube channel. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, going live every day of 2026 and become a member. Throw in a super chat if you want.
Imagination. To imagine a future where we have unfortunately slid into a techno-fascist future. And then imagine it's Jewish. And just think about how much fun that'll be. Right? And I don't mean because it's religiously Jewish. I mean, because look at how they're behaving right.
Oh, we got an answer from Whiskey with Water saying, okay, I am not trying to sound pompous, blah, 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 blah. I have security clearances. Most data centers are built simply to do what it sounds like. Store data, Amazon, QTS, and other companies have. Okay, but what's the reason they would want to build it underneath theirs? That's the question. We got Colorado Gamer saying Jared Kushner and Trump are talking about rebuilding Gaza right now in America's graffiti golden age. Voting for him, for me, is one of the biggest mistakes I ever made.
Right now, when they don't have control over you and everything. Look at what they're saying they want to do right now.
Colorado Gamer says, your First Amendment has been taken away based upon ownership of technology. There you go. Like Jimmy Carr says, you have the right to say whatever you want. You have freedom of speech, but consequences come with anything you do say.
Yeah. So, all the other concerns, very valid. All of Dre's much more balanced and much more reserved concerns, very valid. Super gangster. The whole conversation, very valid. My concern, I think, is much more. I'm not saying it's like a better concern. I'm just saying it's more urgent, more pressing.
Yes, Lone Wolf. This is Ian Carroll, on the top right of the screen. And we have Michael Bradley saying, it's amazing how people oppose things strictly because Trump is involved, when they would love the exact same thing if Trump was not involved. There you go. So, what is it? Is that ad hominem, attack on character, not on ideas and things?
It's you cannot uncompromise your country in that way. So that is my concern. And it's not, one last time, I don't have evidence. Because no one has evidence.
An ad hominem is an argument, a logical fallacy where someone attacks an opponent's character, motive, or personal traits rather than addressing the substance of their argument. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my God. We got a super chat. Are you serious? Stephen Wells, 7719. Says, your calm way of speaking politics I find relaxing and uncommon. Thank you so much, brother. Man, Stephen Wells for the W. Beloved children to enter the new earth. All right. Veronica, can you please come over here and show Stephen Wells some love?
Thank you for your support. I love you. Wishing you and your family the best.
W's for Stephen Wells in the chat for keeping this page alive. I love you. The Lord loves you. Everybody loves you. Thank you so much.
I just have a lot of correlation, a lot of suspicion. I have a pattern, and it's pretty easy to see when you look around. I'm sure that Matt Walsh won't see it. Lord help Matt Walsh.
Good luck, Michael Wilbur. Good luck, buddy.
Poor man. I didn't mean to make Matt a running joke in this episode. That just kind of evolved. I'm sure he's a wonderful dude to hang out with. Anyways, I think that is good enough for our episode tonight.
Michael Bradley jumping in on the chat saying, what are your thoughts on the mainstream state media who blatantly misrepresents Trump and MAGA at every opportunity? I don't know. I think it's part rage baiting, and I think it's part maybe propaganda, allegedly, to try to sell products or to change public policy, maybe to divert attention. You never really know what's going on. I think it's very interesting. But have you seen that clip where there's like 60 news stations saying the exact same script? Whenever you see compilations like that, it just kind of lessens the value of the data you're intaking, because they're all reading the same script from different states and different news networks. So it's a little different. So allegedly, there's a president's sister among those on Gaza flotilla. This is very interesting. Don't know what's going to happen here.
The Taoiseach has condemned the interception in international waters by the Israeli military of an aid flotilla bound for Gaza earlier this week. All but 2 of the 175 activists detained by Israeli forces and taken to the Greek island of Crete have now been released. It's understood the 7 Irish people held have also been released.
Left Condemnation and outrage following Israel's interception of the global subpoena flotilla, which had set sail to deliver humanitarian aid. Demonstrators assembled in cities across the Mediterranean, including Athens, Rome, Barcelona and Istanbul.
We have got a very, very large military vessel.
We got Steve Wells saying there's only a few million Jews in the world. What's with all the hate? Absolutely. There's good people and bad people in every single walk of earth. It's not really good to categorize everybody in the same place and just deliver hate because of a last name or a ethnic background or religious background. That's not cool. Why not judge people by the color of their character, if I may borrow from Mr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Extremely close to us.
22 boats were seized by Israeli forces in the early hours of Thursday, whilst in international waters, about 1,000 kilometres off Gaza. 175 activists of various nationalities were then taken off the vessels and disembarked on the Greek island of Crete. Israel's foreign ministry says 2 male activists are being brought to Israel for questioning.
Welcome Cali Chica 6196 for becoming a member, joining into the inner circle. Thank you so much. I love you. The Lord loves you. Veronica, come say thank you to Cali Chica.
Thank you for your support. I love you. Wishing you and your family the best.
There you go. Exercise partner. Veronica's brilliant. She loves doing her push-ups.
Taoiseach has condemned the interception and says he will be raising the issue at a European level.
The international community have to call out Israel for this and hold Israel accountable. Now, there is a noticeable change in people's perspectives and other countries' perspectives who had been traditionally strong supporters of Israel are becoming increasingly annoyed and frustrated, to say the least, in terms of what has transpired.
But the Irish team involved with the flotilla say the government needs to do more.
We want the Irish government to issue a statement saying that no planes involved in any military activity without a UN mandate should go through our airspace.
The flotilla set sail from Barcelona in mid-April with the intention of delivering about a ton of food, medicine and other equipment to the besieged Palestinian territory. Israel has dismissed it as a PR stunt. The UN says more than 2 million people in Gaza are in immediate need of basic necessities, including water. October's ceasefire guaranteed increased aid, but the UN says that severe restrictions on food entry has led to a collapse in food security and widespread malnutrition. But as international media attention has shifted towards Iran, the flotilla's ability to turn some of the focus back to Gaza may supersede their failure to deliver humanitarian aid. David Landy, RTE News.
Now, in the early hours of Thursday morning, a flotilla carrying aid to Gaza was intercepted by Israeli forces. Earlier today, all but 2.
Yeah, did you not know about Ilhan Omar recognizing World War XI?
2 of the 175 activists detained were released. The global subpoena flotilla continues, however, with the remaining participants located near the Greek island of Crete. Among them, the sister of President Catherine Connolly, Dr. Margaret Connolly. I spoke with Dr. Connolly earlier and began by asking why she decided to take part in the flotilla.
Well, as a mother, a human being, and as a doctor, the catastrophic destruction of Gaza since October 23 has resulted in the near devastation of the enclave, an area 26 miles long by 4 miles wide, 4 to 7. It's a fifth the size of Sligo, and it holds 2.3 million people being held in an open concentration camp. I have been actively involved in the Sligo Palestinian.
Lance Chance dropping in on the chat saying that anchor reminds me of someone. Please let me know. What do you mean? I think I might have missed the anchor.
An organisation in Sligo for 30 years now.
Or are you talking about me?
And I just felt at 67,
There we go. One Love 1329 jumping in on the chat saying when billionaires start building bunkers underneath a ballroom, pay attention. Yeah. You know, our chat, we have the best chat on the internet, and it seems like we cover things and then 3 days later other channels cover them. So if we can we put our minds together and try to figure out what is actually going on underneath that ballroom with that bunker? And we have someone in the chat who says that they worked on data centers and just says that they carry data, if it is a data center in fact. But if it's a bunker, what's going on? And does that attack in Iran, where they actually penetrated towards those bunkers, does it have anything to do with it? I don't know. And I'm just curious, what would they put it there for? I don't know. I'm very lost now with the whole reasoning behind it.
Must do a little more.
It's a big deal, Margaret. It's a big deal to take part in a flotilla like this. What was the reaction of your family members?
My family are totally behind me. My 2 daughters and my son are totally behind me, and so is my partner and husband, Declan Bree. I made this decision. I made it for myself. My heart lies with the Palestinian people. We have had 800 years of colonisation by England. Why wouldn't we come on the flotilla? It is but a small thing, a drop in the ocean. But if I can make people wake up and feel the pain that I feel for what the Israeli regime is enacting in Gaza, it will have been well worthwhile coming on this show today to do that.
A lot of people, Margaret, will know that you are, of course, the sister of President Catherine Connolly. And I know, of course, you are your own person, but would you be worried that by taking part in such a high-profile flotilla like this, that you could make her job a little more difficult as head of state?
I am totally here in my own right. The President knows that. I am here as Dr. Margaret Connolly, a mother, a human being and a GP. I am here in my own right for myself and to wake people up that this bloody genocide has to stop. We have to stop normalising violence and war as if it is a computer game. It is absolutely insane to allow the US government and the Western powers to enact this genocide ongoing for 3 years almost and feel that they can get away with it, acting with impunity everywhere they go. They destroy societies. They are out to destroy the people of Palestine. On Wednesday night, Tommy, we were abducted and kidnapped from our boats. Not me personally, but the boat right beside me.
Can you tell me about that night, Margaret? Where were you?
So this is a big deal. She's the sister. And we got somebody in the chat saying, James Devlin says, Ireland stands with Palestine. We experienced ethnic cleansing and land grabbing from a powerful neighbor. So I guess it resonates in a way, even though there's not too much in common in regards to religion or background, I guess, geographical background, just kind of from past experiences. Man, that's tough.
When the flotilla was intercepted?
I was actually on the bow of the ship minding a little baby bird that happened to land for an hour, and it was quite surreal and very calm. I did not feel afraid, but we saw a huge light coming towards us, and that was the warship.
The Taoiseach Micheál Martin was speaking this afternoon about the interception of the aid flotilla. He said that the international...
Thank you, Kelly Chica.
International community have to call it out, what happened on Wednesday night, and he did say that Israel has to...
Stephen Wells jumping in on the chat saying, I wonder if human beings will ever grow up. Yeah, absolutely. Can you expand on that? What do you mean by grow up? Kind of have some understanding for each other and just kind of get along for no reason? Or get along instead of argue for no reason?
Abide by international law. Do you welcome those comments from the Taoiseach?
It's a little late to say this after my comrades were abducted and kidnapped, and it's a little late after our 2 special comrades, Tiago from Brazil holding a European passport, and Saif, a Palestinian man who has a Swedish-Spanish passport, and both these comrades have been separated from the rest of the Irish who were kidnapped and are now being taken to an Israeli jail. How will Micheál Martin's comments help those 2 men? Most of their comrades are terrified that the Palestinian lad may never be seen again.
Yeah, a lot of heaviness there. And we got Michael Wilbur jumping on the chat saying 2,000 plus years of hate is really hard to change. Yeah, I understand that it's hard to change, but have faith, have hope that it can change, you know? Like, there's no reason not to. Oh, we got Stephen Wells joining as a member on the inner circle. Thank you so much. Veronica, come here. Say thank you.
Thank you for your support. I love you. Wishing you and your family the best.
Amazing. 100% amazing. Oh my God. Stephen Wells just gifting people memberships. 10 memberships. Stephen Wells for the W. Oh my gosh. Everyone give Steve a win. That's absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, Stephen Wells. Bless him, his family, his friends, his community, and the good people on earth. That is incredible. Angel on earth, man. There you go. That's incredible. That is incredible. Veronica, come back over here.
Thank you for your support. I love you. Wishing you and your family the best.
Thank you, Steve. I hope this channel grows too, man. I hope so. We're trying to develop the best community on the internet over here. So thank you so much. Your support means so much to us. We all love you, buddy. We all love you.
I know there was a lot of violence on the boat when they tried to separate the two men. And I just want to say, Tommy, if I could, without interruption, our hearts and our thoughts go out to their families tonight, because we're all very, very distressed at the scenes we have seen and at the thought of those two men being separated from the comrades.
Can I ask you, what is the plan over the coming days? Do you think that you will manage to reach Gaza?
The plan now is to just ride out this storm that's occurring. That's why we're in this bay, and we'll take it from there. But spirits are high, and we want to sail peacefully to Gaza because it is our right to travel these waters. America and Israel do not own this world. That is the message. They do not own it. The people of the world own this world, and we all civilians across the planet need to stand up to the might, greed and avarice of these colonial powers who only want to destroy everything in their path.
Dr. Margaret Connolly, thanks indeed for taking the time to speak to us on 6.
Dr. Margaret Connolly, very much being such a rebel, going out of her way to try to make a statement. Hopefully she's safe, man. That's a wild one that she's on right now. That's a very, very wild one. Oh man. But if we can find world peace, that would be absolutely incredible. With all of this heavy stuff, you know, I figure like we just need a little bit of a laugh and also some history. And since we're talking about Israel in this moment, why not look at a very, very funny Israeli comedian?
Sacha Baron Cohen was basically a fugitive.
He was chased around.
Thank you for your support. I love
there you
you.
go. Talking to Steve Wells again. So Sacha Baron Cohen was a fugitive while he was making art. And we'll see the reason.
Like the entire time they were filming this. They were actively being investigated by the FBI. This was not long after 9/11. And
yeah, God bless Dr. Connolly.
So this like Arabic looking man is driving across the country in an ice cream truck with a bear. The FBI actually opened a file and the Secret Service got involved investigating Borat. They were sued, not surprisingly, for over $70 million collected. Sacha,
$70 million for making a movie. That is so wild, right? Yeah, Stephen Wells says, I don't remember this amount of crazy before COVID. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that really changed the world so much, so much. Lone Wolf says, tell her to stop America with her little boat. Yeah. And JD Hassel says, just wish immigrants would assimilate to American ways and values. Any other country you have to learn their language, respect their country. migration is important. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, assimilate to the country and try to become an upright citizen. Don't try to create havoc and fear and create crime. Not worth it. Be a good citizen, you'll be welcome, right? Have some level of self-respect and respect other people.
Baron Cohen actually says he is the most sued actor in history. Throughout the production of this movie, they had 92
Veronica is AI.
calls to local police departments on them while they were producing.
Dude, they have kids running up to an ice cream truck with a bear inside of it. That's so scary.
At the time, there was an active warrant for his arrest in New York City because he was going around the street kissing people on the face.
I kiss you.
Which I'm pretty sure that's assault. So yeah, he got in all kinds of legal trouble, obviously, throughout this.
And so one of the reasons that I also bring this up.
Thank you for your support.
Okay,
I love you.
Let's see. Is it going to do that every time I switch? No.
Thank you for your support.
Okay. One of the reasons I do this is because he brings up something else. Which is a little interesting. Like I don't know if he's playing on the conspiracy theory or if he's talking about something. So there's two more clips. So this one is dealing with the Titanic. It's General Al-Din exposes Titanic sinking, and then the next one is General Al-Din exposes the nuclear program. And they're very short, but they're very interesting as well.
No, it's already taken more money than Titanic, you know, the film about the ship sunk in 1912 by Israel. Was it sunk by an iceberg or by a Goldberg? You do the makhudmet.
So
Something got hot in here.
So I was fortunate.
Breakfast TV. Why do you have me on?
Thank you, Michael Wilbur. Appreciate it, brother.
I know you're thinking about that.
Worst
comes to worst, you execute the producer.
That's what the boss was just saying in my ear then a minute ago.
All right, so he's talking about the Titanic there. And here in the next one, he's going to be talking about a nuclear weapon, which might be kind of hitting close to home here.
Can you tell us about the wonderful work that you've been doing in your home country of Wadiya?
Well, for some strange reason involving facts and reality, the United Nations believe that I am developing nuclear weapons. But my nuclear weapons program, my nuclear program is entirely for peaceful purposes. Wink, wink.
He's funny. You got to give it to him. He's a funny guy. But this was also many, many years ago. When was that? ...2012 release. So... yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Chat, what do you think about this? Sasha is crazy and funny at the same time. Yeah, he is a funny guy. He's definitely the guy who's like, oh, where's the line? I'll cross it. I'll definitely cross it for you. Yeah, he's a funny guy. Absolutely special. Here we have Candace Owens reacting to Boss Babe by Mrs. Erika Kirk. Is she still Mrs. Erika Kirk if she's a widow? I don't know. Let me look that up.
I was fully bought into the Boss Babe. I mean, I lived in Manhattan. Charlie essentially plucked me out of the New York City orbit and was like, no, I have a healthier way of viewing things and looking at life and things like that. And he was right. He was right. And I remember thinking, if I would have stayed on that path I was on, I would have lost out on some of the most beautiful moments of my life. Children, having a husband, being able to create and build something so incredible. And again, yes, balance is an illusion. I bring my children to the office. I have them with me constantly. We have a phenomenal team. It doesn't just fall on my shoulders. Charlie was very good about creating and intentionally building a machine where
Candace Owens, just if you're looking at her face, can you see her face? She's just she's taking it all in, but she's definitely like challenging every single statement. Like if Erika Kirk tried to have that conversation in front of Candace Owens, like in this state, it would be hilarious.
it turns from founder-led to vision-led, and he shared everything with me. I knew his goals. I knew what his vision was for things. So this is not out of my orbit. This is not uncomfortable for me.
She's telling her to wrap it up. She's like, yeah, wrap it up. Oh, man. Candace Owens. Stephen Wells is saying, Candace has gone off the deep end for sure. I really thought she was going to be something great. So sad. So sad. So much potential. Candace. Polarizing figure, this Candace Owens. Very polarizing. One Love is here, or one Love was here. Don hates Trumbo. Thanks for leaving, Charlie. What do you mean by that? We have Erika Kirk blasting journalists for abhorrent behavior during White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting.
Of the journalists in that room have attempted to dehumanize me, and I wanted to meet some of them.
Jose Itor says Charlie's wife is going to be vice president.
Face to face, quite frankly. Why have a conversation about me when you can have a conversation with me?
Charlie Kirk's widow, Erika Kirk, unleashed on journalists at the White House Correspondents' Dinner for their behavior during the shooting. Yep. Erika Kirk, who became CEO of Turning Point USA after her husband's assassination last year, was in attendance at the WHCD, and a video went viral of her crying while leaving the venue. Traumatizing, right?
I just want to go home.
She just wants to go home. Sconzilla says Charlie Kirk was Tra NS. Are you sure, buddy? Are you sure? Oh, man. One Love says, I'd rather Biden over E. Are you talking about Island Man? Kirk went on the set of her late husband's show, The Charlie Kirk Show, where she slammed the media and the political left while recounting her experience at the dinner. And just to clarify, yes, a widow is traditionally and socially still considered a Mrs. out of respect for her late husband retaining the title unless she chooses otherwise or remarries, which would still become a Mrs., but last name might change. Kirk continued to blast the journalists, taking videos in the room of the shooting while not knowing how dangerous the situation could have been. Wild.
if you were in that room, you had no way of knowing what the status of the shooter was, how many there were, or honestly, really anything. It was just utter chaos. And so during an active shooting, these journalists are using their phones to find moments to capture for clips. They were so concerned about getting a video in a room with an active shooter that they could have accidentally and quite literally filmed themselves being shot. Many of those people have become so desensitized that fight or flight became secondary to the opportunity of putting themselves into the story, which ironically breaks the #1 rule of journalism.
Let's talk about the latest attempt on President Trump's life. And while much of the media at the White House Correspondents' Dinner took the assassination attempt in their stride, some even helped themselves to bottles of alcohol on the way out of the function room. The violence was particularly traumatic for Erika Kirk, whose husband, Charlie Kirk, was assassinated just 7 months ago.
I just want to go find you.
Alex, you've got to feel for that poor woman. It seems like she hasn't even really had time to grieve for Charlie. And to be in that room, it must have been really traumatizing.
Yeah, I can't imagine what Erica's going through. But you know what's crazy about this situation is, sadly, we've constantly seen this. You know, Donald Trump, I think this is what, 3rd or 4th assassination attempt. So it seems like the violence in America is just getting worse and worse. And I know a lot of people think the solution is taking away the Second Amendment, but I don't think that that's the solution whatsoever. I think we need to have more people with guns, but this is just a sad indication of where we're heading as a country, and there's going to be...
Jose Itor says Kirk was telling the truth about everything, but people did not like him. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and Stephen Wells says, let's get the likes up, folks. Yeah, please like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. We're going live every single day of 2026. Become a member. Throw in a super chat if you want. I love you. The Lord loves you. And we're developing the best community on the internet over here, trying to get you the best news and the best entertainment ever. Trying to make your life better.
More violence like this. And I just think it's going to get more rampant. And I wish that wasn't the case, but that's truly how I feel right here in America right now.
And something that has been really mainstreamed amongst the left, particularly on social media sites and...
Yeah, Jason just jumping in on the chat saying Charlie was extinguished for making sense. Unfortunately, man, he was such an angel on earth. So smart, so smart. Yeah, Donna Haight, try to say some nice things. We don't want to make any threats over here, and that's an easy way to get yourself put on a timeout or, you know, taken away from this channel. So yeah, we know that Charlie Kirk was a college dropout, but he's also a very, very smart and kind soul.
Chat forums is this notion that this was a false flag. It was a staged event. I mean, to think that in this circumstance, you would have to be a certified idiot. This guy has a long history of being a leftist activist, being a Democrat.
Good point. User TT jumping in on the chat saying, what did Charlie say that was hateful? Can anyone answer that question rather than giving ad hominem arguments?
His social media footprint is enormous. And do they really think he's going to sacrifice?
Just to clarify for y'all, an ad hominem argument is a logical fallacy where someone attacks an opponent's character, motive, or personal traits rather than addressing the substance of their argument.
His life is probably never going to see the outside of a jail cell to help.
You said... that's not accurate. That's not accurate. I'll give you an example actually right here.
Why is it that when it comes to black people receiving reparations, There seems to be a lot of pushback to the point where now, now it's almost laughable to even think about black people getting reparations for something in the past.
Have we spent a lot of money on the black community the last 50 years? And if so, has it worked?
It's a good question because, obviously there are certain communities in Black America that are not so great. Some of the traumas and problems they have are of their own making. I acknowledge that. Thankfully, I was raised away from all that, 2 loving parents.
And that's the greatest thing that you are, one of the, if not the greatest. And that's my hope.
Charlie Kirk is not racist, man. He's saying that is the greatest thing, that this gentleman here in the middle of your screen was raised by both parents.
For every child, black, white, or Asian, to have 2 parents. That is a ticket.
Any color. To
success. We've spent trillions of dollars on trying to improve the well-being of black Americans since the 1960s. And actually, black America is poorer per capita and on average in relation to other groups than it was in the 1960s. So I would argue it's actually not a resource or a money thing. It's a values thing. And the values, unfortunately, that are predominantly in the black community right now are quasi-suicidal.
Okay, so it's not a money or resource thing. It's the values. And what does he mean by that? Yeah. And how can that be improved? How can that be improved? And you need to understand how easy it is for you to be successful in America comparing to other countries. It's so hard to be successful in corrupt countries where the government says one thing and that doesn't happen. I'm not saying America is perfect, but it's probably one of the best places on earth, honestly. And that video proves that Charlie Kirk 100% is not a racist.
President Trump, but this notion that this event was staged is really prevalent, Alex.
Well, to be fair, Rita, people have lost trust with the government, and so anytime
Breaking 963, rage baiting in the chat, but we always accept and appreciate jokes, even if they're a little dark, just to get a laugh. And Breaking says Charlie's been real quiet since his last debate. May Charlie's soul rest in peace, but we always love a laugh. Oh my gosh, what a nice guy. How sad the whole world was after that incident. Unreal. And to see some liberals happy about that, it just kind of, I try to be a centrist, but it just moved me away from the liberals that were like happy that a soul is taken away much too early from this earth. It doesn't make sense, honestly. When he's fighting for you, he's fighting for humanity. May his soul rest in peace. And all the best for his family, friends, community, and the good people on earth.
when they see a big event like this, they automatically disregard whatever the mainstream narrative is and believe the opposite. So people have been kind of either trained to believe everything the government tells us, or they've been trained the other way, that anything the government tells us is a lie. So I'm actually not surprised that people are saying that. But all indications looks like he was a crazy guy. He's another guy similar to Tyler Robinson who had a high IQ. It looked like he was an engineer of some sort, and a guy that was a smart.
Thanks, Lone Wolf. Sorry about that.
Smart guy on paper, but obviously this is a very dumb thing to do. But it's just kind of the reality of the situation where everybody's going to think the opposite of whatever they hear from the mainstream, because nobody trusts the government anymore, Rita, especially here in America.
Looks Iranian. Yeah, I don't know if he looks Iranian, bro. Dem Rep asks Hexeth about military flyover of Kid Rock.
Now recognizes Mr. Whitesides from California for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Secretary Hexeth, General Kane, Mr. Hurst, thank you for testifying today.
and for your service to the nation. Over the past few weeks, military and civilian leaders of many of the DoD components have testified about their FY27 posture. We appreciate their professionalism and their service to the country and the time that they've spent to testify before us. I want to start with Mr. Hurst. Mr. Hurst, you testified at the beginning of this that you said that the estimated cost of the war is about $25 billion. In March, you stated that the first week of the war cost $11 billion. So is it right to say that the following 7 weeks have cost about $14 billion total, or $2 billion per week?
Yeah, the most intense phase of the conflict was obviously the beginning. That's when most munitions were used.
Okay.
And that's the base expense from the war.
Right. So that you also said just now that the $25 billion includes the cost of the munitions deployed. Is that right? This question is for the CFO, sir. Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay, so I guess I'm confused then. It makes sense that if that's the cost, then the cost to refill those stocks would be no more than $25 billion. Am I right about that?
When we estimate cost of the conflict, we're using current replacement cost for these.
Jason Beatrice jumping in on the chat saying, Jose Itor, thank you for your service, bro. I'm also a retired veteran. Thank you both for your service. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Heroes.
Weapon system.
Right, you're using current replacement costs. So it's frankly pretty surprising that the estimate for the supplemental would be $200 billion. You don't, if you'd like to explain that, you can, but
that's not accurate. We don't have an estimate for the cost.
Okay, that's what's publicly reported. So it's good to hear that it's going to be less. Mr. Hurst, do you have Signal on your phone?
I'm sorry, why is this relevant?
Do you have Signal on your phone?
What does this have to do with the budget?
I'm going to take that as a yes. Mr. Kane, General Kane, do you have Signal on your phone?
As a yes.
I do, sir, yes.
Okay, so I want to talk about Signal. Last year, the Secretary and other administration officials discussed sensitive and almost certainly classified information about a strike in Yemen using the unclassified Signal app. Mr. Hurst, what's the current policy for Signal on official DoD devices?
I'm the comptroller. I don't do CIO work.
So therefore, it is allowed? Is that your statement, that it is now allowed to have Signal on your device?
Mr. Whiteside, my statement is I run the budget for DOD.
Yeah. Okay, well, he's got it on his phone, so therefore it must be permitted.
I got to go back and look if it's on my official phone. I was talking about my personal phone. I'm not exactly sure. I'll go back and look, though.
Okay. Last month, FBI Director Kash Patel made a public announcement that Russian hackers are targeting Signal app users in the government, specifically stated that they were targeting individuals of high intelligence value, including current and former U.S. government officials. I hope that it is not official policy that you can have Signal on your official phones, and I would love to get a response from the department on that. We have now asked this question about 5 separate times and have never gotten a straight answer. I want to close by talking about helicopters. Mr. Secretary, I want to ask about the Army.
He's laughing. Look at him. He's laughing in here.
Apache helicopter that flew over Kid Rock's property on March 28th. An investigation was launched by the 101st Combat Aviation Brigade Command Leadership, but before that review is completed on March 31st, you terminated it via social media post. Did you personally direct termination of that review?
I did.
Okay. Now, the president said they probably shouldn't have been doing it and that I'd take a look at it. So did you talk
User T, what's going on? Drop me some usernames.
To the president before terminating that review?
Well, I don't relay what I talk about with
Okay, I think unfortunately that means that you did talk to him, which in turn means that you've just confirmed the president himself overruled the leadership of the 101st Airborne. Mr. Secretary, you yourself have affirmed repeatedly the need for higher standards and higher accountability at every level of your agency. Commanders rely on established processes to uphold these standards. How does canceling a command-initiated review by the 101st Airborne leadership support a culture of accountability? Actually, I think I'll ask that of the chairman.
Sure. Back to my earlier comments about the importance in my role of staying in the middle. What you're alluding to is, in my assessment, with deep respect for your ask, is a partisan question, and I think it would be inappropriate for me to answer that.
Sir, I actually don't think it is. I think it is actually a very fundamental principle of accountability in our department, and I think it was the wrong decision. I'm going to close by just saying one thing. Mr. Secretary.
Denny Escacita says, Trump, best of the best on the world. There you go. Some support for POTUS.
You started this hearing by politicizing it, and I want to make one point. Poll after poll shows that the American public does not support this war, and support is dropping every day. We are all representing our constituents, which is our constitutional duty.
Good idea, TT.
And to state that we are politicizing it is an affront to Congress and every member in this House, and I yield back.
You are politicizing it, Congressman.
The gentleman's time has expired. The chair now.
Oh, they got aggressive there at the end. Did you see his look? He was pretty angry over here. Oh, there you go. A little anger. Jason Beatrice jumping in on the chat saying because the military handled it. There you go. And I showed you guys the time machine tweet, and if you guys request it again, I could show it to you again. But Erika Kirk has a rehearsed performance.
Read in her preacher moment to 2,000 pastors and an internet full of people distracted by her talking about being in the kitchen at 10 p.m. in the dark eating cereal. So she looked at a verse from the book of James on her wall, allegedly, and decided to count it all joy.
And I was eating cereal. It was like 10 o'clock at night. That's a mom dinner cereal at 10 p.m. But we live in a small condo. When we first moved in there, Charlie and I put the Bible verse of James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4 alongside of it. And I stood there and I looked at it, and I was like, milk and cereal in my mouth, and I was like, count.
Oh my gosh.
Count it all joy. Count it all joy. Being persecuted and lied about, count it all joy.
Think about it. Her message is really good. Count it all joy. Count it all joy. It's a really good message.
You're being slandered. Count it all joy.
She's done this bit before, by the way. We saw her do this bit in Arkansas with Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And it was supposed to be like this little heartwarming story. But for anyone watching, we were like, ooh, this feels like a goated confession delivery right in front of us.
Yeah.
Step down into the plunge.
Absolutely.
Sit down, please.
And so here's another one. This is Gina Carano. She's fighting Ronda Rousey coming up. And if you're ever like feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't do something, just imagine. No, she's definitely not Charlie, bro. She is definitely not Charlie. Just imagine sitting in an ice bath. It's so difficult, especially after exercise. And here she is.
Please. Arms in and down. Look at me, look at me. Scoot down. Come down into it. It's only hard for me. It's only hard for me.
Yeah, right. It's hard forever, dude.
I need you to get your... All right, are you ready for the next step? Look at me.
What's the next step?
Raise your arms.
No.
And I want you to spread your legs. No. I know, we need all...
Jason Beatrice saying, it's not going to be a good fight. I'm not looking forward to it. Oh, I thought you said you are looking forward to it. Yeah, Stephen Wells says Ronda had her time. Ronda's speech was actually pretty entertaining. She's getting much better at public speaking. Kudos to her. And I hope her boxing's getting better, because I think her boxing coach kind of ruined her career. User TT says Gina would poke my eyes out, if you know what I mean. That's a foul. She shouldn't foul you. There you go. Eva says haters will hate and God is for Erika. He will protect the widows. Yeah, you gotta protect the widows. Hey, what do you guys think, chat? Ronda or Gina? Maybe we should have a little poll going, but...
Cold spots. And you're good, you're good. Just moving.
I don't think that was an accident. Okay.
Good. Okay, now look at me. All right, you're already 40 seconds in. I need you to lift your head up, sink down a little bit into it. We need the whole body. Cold shock. You're doing good. Good. Okay. You're doing really good. And so now?
Yeah, we got 2 for Gina. There you go. I honestly have to disagree with you guys. I think Ronda's going to take it, but I like and I respect both of them, but just like directly skill wise. But you never know if you don't know. You just don't know. And I don't know the fitness levels of either one of them. Yeah, Ronda is great with the takedowns. Yeah, especially on the ground. If Ronnie gets close to her, yeah, then Gina's in trouble. But Gina's no pushover, that's for sure. So Joe Rogan loses it when Tim Dillon does an ad, bro. This is wild. Tim Dillon, something else.
He doesn't say it's Erika.
Jason says Gina is a Muay Thai fighter with enough skill to keep Ronda away. Yeah. If Gina can keep Ronda Rousey away and Ronda doesn't get a grip of Gina, then she has a chance. You know, Holly Holmes knocked Ronda out. That was happy, sad, and everyone thought that was not possible. So wild. Such a wild fight. All right, so here's Joe Rogan reacting to Tim Dillon's ad.
Erika Kirk for NeuroGum. Have you heard of Jamie?
A friend of mine, let's call her Erika. She's had a wild life, this woman. She was in Romania. She had an orphanage. She was on a reality show. She married this famous guy. She was an intelligence asset. And I said to her, how do you do this? And she says, Tim, it's Neuros, Energy, and Focus Mints. And I said, but how do you do it after the guy, the husband and father of the kids gets murdered and you're out there doing all kinds of stuff? You're doing fundraisers and you're dancing around with glitter pants. How does this happen? She goes, I could lie to you, but I'm telling you, it's Neuros, Energy, and Focus Mints. I said, really? She goes, sure. I said, how are you running this organization 7 hours after this guy got popped?
Yeah, some people just do not care at all. And this is Tim Dillon, which is a very funny guy. On the bottom left, this is Joe Rogan, as you all know, one of the goats of podcasting. Huge inspiration, absolutely. Do we have something new from POTUS? What's going on over here?
Do this, and then we're gonna.
Is it new? Is it new? Let's see.
And if you don't do that, they say, I have a plan. These people know what the plan is. Everybody here knows what the plan is. But it's very unfair to say, because I don't mind being insulted. I've been insulted for many years by the fake news. But you can't.
Thick skin,
it's so
right?
bad for people that are so you just saw two great, and John Ratcliffe, three unbelievable people. They have a plan. Every single thing has been thought out by all of us. But I can't reveal the plan to the media. So, but we're just thrilled by the success of this operation. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. You've said Iranians would be mad if you stopped these attacks, but why would they want you to blow up their infrastructure, to cut off their power? Wouldn't that be punishing Iranians for the actions of the regime?
They would be willing and it's suffering. They would be willing to suffer that in order to have freedom. The Iranians and we've had numerous intercepts. Please keep bombing. Bombs that are dropping near their homes. Please keep bombing. Do it. And these are people that are living where the bombs are exploding. And when we leave and we're not hitting those areas, they're saying, please come back, come back, come back. These are the people. I don't know what they do. All I can tell you is they want freedom.
Trump definitely doesn't have a filter. If he does have a filter, it's a very, very, very free filter.
They were going to protest, and everybody said, oh, the regime's going to come to an end. And then all of a sudden, boom, boom, 5, 6 different areas. A woman would go down right between the eyes. They had snipers. They had 5 snipers. That's all it took.
By the way, we're going live every single day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member. It helps the channel. Throw in a super chat if you want.
Between the eyes. And after 5 or 6 of them go down, then you start hearing the purr through the vast number of people. And then they said, oh my God, who would do that? And they're incredible people, but they've lived so horribly. They've lived so horribly. You know, Iran was a great country if you go back 25 years ago or so. The Persian people, they're incredible, smart, brilliant actually. And I know so many. I know coming from New York, originally I know so many
Jason
people.
Beatrice says, the people at the retirement home I volunteer at say they only watch Fox because it's less fake than CNN. Thank you for your service, Jason, and also good man working at the retirement home. Very nice of you.
Everybody was saying, oh, this is the end of the country. And then snipers selectively picked. Every single one was shot right between the eyes from a long distance. They were on top of buildings. Nobody even knew where they were, where they're coming from. This wasn't like a machine gun, which is also very bad. They've done that too. They did that recently.
Absolutely.
This was snipers sitting on the top of buildings, aiming and hitting women. And when they see people go down, and all of a sudden there's a riot in the reverse direction, and they never came out again. And a lot of the news doesn't talk about that. They talk about, women's rights. You want to see women's rights? You're not going to see it there.
Steve Wells, 7719, W in the chat with a $20 UST super chat saying, I hope YouTube will push your content. Thank you so much. Veronica, come here. Say thank you to Mr. Stephen Wells.
Thank you for your support. I love you. Wishing you and your family the best.
Stephen Wells, what a man, what a man. Incredible, incredible. W's in the chat for Mr. Stephen Wells. Thank you so much, buddy.
For Iran, but it's very hard for them to protest. I actually tell them, I said, don't go out. I fully understand. Nobody in this room would go out. I don't think there's any, because frankly, it's not a question of bravery. We're all brave, right? You're brave, I'm brave, we're all brave. But we're also intelligent. If you have people shooting at you, expert shots with the best rifles you can get, and hitting you right between the eyes every single time, and you're looking here and you're seeing and you're looking here, you're out of there. I don't care who it is.
Please. Mark Meredith, Fox News.
I know that.
Oh, thank you.
How would I know that? Go ahead.
America's watching. No.
Good job.
Can we go back to the weekend? First off, was everyone on board with the operation, or were there people that were trying to talk you out of going through with the operation this weekend?
Not everybody was on board.
Somebody else within
No, there was military people, very professional, that preferred not doing it. These two
absolutely
were totally on board, which was very important. They weren't, it would have had a little difficulty. But no, there were military people that said, you just don't do this. You don't go into the heart of a very powerful military. You know, this is, hey, you have countries and countries. You have some countries where military is not their strong suit. This whole thing is militarized like nobody's ever seen before. Half the people are wearing uniforms. And we had people.
Jason Beatrice jumping down the chat saying, notice how TDS symptoms emerge. As soon as a TDS victim hears Trump's voice, they say lies, lies, lies. My goodness, yes, lies, lies, lies. They don't even have to know what Trump is talking about and start typing lies, lies, lies. My goodness.
Together, approximately, for the operation.
Yeah, Lauren Harrington, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat. Helps the channel. Thank you so much, Lauren.
I'd love to keep that a secret.
Okay, well, we are. But I will tell you, the number, I'll keep it a secret, but it was hundreds. And hundreds of these people, that's pretty good. Is he central casting? But hundreds of people went into this journey. Hundreds of people could have been killed. Forget about the equipment, a lot of equipment, nobody cares. Hundreds of people could have been killed. So we had people that were within the military that said this is not a wise, and I understood that, but I decided to do it.
Was there a point that they were that you were thinking, there's too much on the line, and somebody was saying, maybe we abort this now and wait? I mean, given the resource like the general said, it seemed like there was so much on the line here. You must have been thinking, well, this could have completely changed.
So the first one, which was in many ways.
Stephen Wells dropping in on the chat saying, not God, just a man with a purpose. Absolutely.
As dangerous as the second, I guess it gets, because we're flying over daylight. You know, we're the best at the world at night. We have goggles that nobody, we have goggles. I've tried them, they're unbelievable. I see better with the goggles at night.
Chris J jumping in the chat saying he is the best Persian interior decorator.
Equipment like we do. But when I was told flying and in daylight, I think we flew 7 hours over Iran, and that's a long time, over unbelievably hostile territory where they have nothing but weapons. We took out their anti-aircraft, which is great. We took out their radar, which is great. We took out a lot, but they still have, you know, what hit this one was a handheld shoulder missile, heat-seeking missile. So it's not like, you know, they're totally whatever. And they had probably a little luck, because you got to get lucky. But they shot it, and it got sucked in right by the engine. But these guys were out of there. They were great. Their timing was great. But no, I was told that this is a very dangerous mission. I understand. They didn't say it's a foolish mission. They said, you know, we're going to be sacrificing hundreds of people do this. This is, I mean, you have tankers that are flying over this area so that because the flight was so long, they had to refuel. It's a very dangerous mission. I just felt it was worth it. If you would have told me that we would have been successful, gotten both, and nobody was even essentially injured, I would have said that would be impossible. Yeah, Bruce.
Mr. President, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Well, I'll come back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Given that you are now dealing, you say, with a more reasonable, less extreme leadership in Iran, what does that mean for the protesters, for the human rights movement in that country after this conflict?
Well,
What's your
positive.
expectation?
Yeah, if they assume control, if we do something and they assume control, I think it's very positive, a big step. I don't think you'd see the radicalization that you have seen in the last. Look what happened. I mean, women are being executed because they're not properly clothed, they say. They're not properly clothed, and they execute the women. They shoot them right on the street.
Horrible. They shouldn't.
No, you have a much different group of people. Now, I'm not saying we are dealing with them.
Oh my goodness. We got Stephen Wells, 7719, helping the channel. What a man. $20 USD, saying you will hit your goal one way or the other with prayer hands. What a man. Veronica, come say thank you to Stephen Wells and do some push-ups, please.
Thank you for your support. I love you. Wishing you and your family the best.
Stephen Wells, the man. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it so much.
A month ago, with a much more powerful Iran than it was at any point during 47 years. This should have been handled by 7 presidents, a lot of presidents. And those presidents are saying now, every one of them to their friends, we should have done this a long time ago. So it's not something I like doing. It's very dangerous, and we're getting them at the height of their strength. If I didn't terminate the Barack Hussein Obama Iran nuclear deal, they would have had don't forget, that was a path to a nuclear weapon. Remember this. He chose Iran over Israel, pure and simple.
Yeah, AI is getting super, super wild these days. So wild. Chris J is saying, release the Island Man files. There you go. Cali Chick agrees. Chris J says, welcome to Costco. I love you. There you go, bro. Yeah. You are all loved. You are all loved. 100%.
Dallas, he chose Iran over Israel and really the Arab world, if you look, because, you know, the other, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, I mean, you take a look. I mean, I can add Kuwait and I can add Bahrain and you can add others. He chose such an unlikely candidate. Nobody could believe it. Frankly, if you're going to choose between Iraq and Iran, he should have befriended Iraq. He went in the exact opposite direction of all thinking, and he made a terrible mistake. But that was a road to a nuclear weapon. And when I terminated that, everyone said, oh, he terminated it. It was one of the best things we ever did because he had a road to a nuclear weapon. And it was a very short-term deal. You know, countries don't do 10-year deals. Countries do hundreds of years. You don't do a 10-year deal. For a country, you need, this isn't you're a landlord and you're renting a store on a certain street, and you give somebody a 5-year or 10-year lease. This is a country. It was a short-term deal. It was ready to expire. I terminated it before it expired. Took a lot of heat, and it was one of the best things I ever did, because he would have had a nuclear weapon. Then he would have had another nuclear weapon, had those beautiful B-2 bombers not gone in 8 months ago, and obliterated that site. And by the way, the word is obliteration. CNN said, well, maybe it wasn't complete. It was so complete that they still haven't been able to get it. It was obliteration. But if we didn't hit them, that was a courageous decision too, because we had all those planes flying in at night with very little cover, unbelievable stealth planes, and they were able to do their job. If we didn't do that, Iran would have had a nuclear weapon at a high level, either one of those two instances. And if they did, in my opinion, I told this to Bibi Netanyahu yesterday, Israel would have been extinguished. Large portions of the Middle East would have been extinguished, whether it's Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, or others. And you saw that with thousands of missiles raining down upon them. They didn't think they were going to be hit. They thought they'd be watching us fight. And all of a sudden, UAE got hit by 1,500 missiles.
My goodness.
He would have taken them out also. And they were powerful. If I didn't come along and terminate the Obama deal, which was terrible, the Iran nuclear deal was a road to a nuclear weapon, a big one, unlimited, legally.
All right, y'all. So we have the results for the poll here. And here they are.
Thank you for your support.
That's
I love
for Stephen
you.
Wells. Everybody loves you, buddy. We have MAGA 64%. Okay, maybe this is not the correct one.
Thank you.
Where did you go?
Thank you for your support.
Okay. Yeah, so we have a 64% for MAGA and 36% for Lib City out of a complete 182 total votes. So this is a great one right here, just to let y'all know how people are feeling these days. Always good to know that, right?
Thank you for your.
Please.
Thank you so much for taking my question, Mr. President.
Oh, Mr. Stephen Wells dropping another 20. Winning in the chat, Mr. Stephen Wells. Veronica, come back over here for Mr. Stephen Wells.
Thank you for your support. I love you. Wishing you and your family the best.
What a kind man. What a kind man. Bless Stephen Wells. Great man.
President, last week you suggested that Europe should take the lead on reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Has circumstances changed now that you're issuing a direct 48-hour ultimatum? And secondly, would a new ceasefire include Israel, or would it just be between Iran
I can't
and the
talk
US?
about ceasefire, but I can tell you that we have a active, willing participant on the other side. They would like to be able to make a deal. I can't say any more than that.
You've listed the goals. Excuse me.
Please, go ahead.
You've listed the goals.
Mr. President. Who you with? Who you with?
My name is Dia Kurd. I'm with the largest Kurdish media outlet, Ruda Media Network. It's based in Iran.
Go ahead.
Mr. President,
Santiago Benjamin says, be happy, be healthy, be wealthy, be MAGA. There you go, buddy.
you said before that you don't want the Kurdish forces to enter Iran and deharm it.
Terry, good morning from the Philippines. How you doing, buddy? And Larry, I can't read that, buddy.
Do you still want them to stay away, or?
Again, I just said 47 years they've been negotiating with these people. They're great negotiators, and because
oh, Stephen Wells making us get our goal. What a legend. Mr. Stephen Wells is the best. The best. Everybody give W's in the chat for Mr. Stephen Wells. Veronica, come back and say thank you to Mr. Stephen Wells.
Thank you for your support. I love you. Wishing you and your family the best.
Oh, she's the best. Oh my gosh. There we go. We got Larry saying, okay, go Trump. Let's do it.
they're not going to have a nuclear weapon.
Thank you, Stephen. Everyone loves you too, buddy. Thank you for supporting the channel.
And if somebody that takes my place someday is weak and ineffective, which possibly that will happen because we had numerous presidents that were weak, ineffective, and afraid of Iran, we're never going to let Iran have a nuclear weapon.
Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. We're going live every single day of 2026. Become a member if you want. Throw in a super chat. Be amazing like Mr. Stephen Wells. And we're developing the best community online over here. And would love to have you on board.
And if you think it's all the news that's fit to print, the old gray lady, it was great, but they're running on past fumes, and you can't keep doing that. You have to be able to give the correct news. And people like you, who I know, are fake. You're fake.
Lone Wolf and Cub says, no Kings protest worked great. We still don't have any Kings thanks to you all. And thank you, Santiago, for jumping in on the chat, buddy.
Go ahead, please.
Your messaging on the war has moved from the war is coming to an end to war going to be bombing Iran to the Stone Ages. Right. And we've heard a range of those kind of messages. So which is it? Are you winding this down or are you escalating
I can't tell you. I don't know. I can't tell you. Depends what they do. This is a critical period.
Yeah, he can't.
They have a period of, till tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I gave them an extension. They asked for an extension of 7 days, right? I said, Steve, give them 10 days. 10 days is up actually today, so I gave them 11, I guess, indirectly. I thought it was inappropriate the day after Easter. I want to be a nice person. They have till tomorrow. Now, we'll see what happens. I can tell you they're negotiating, we think, in good faith. We're going to find out. We're getting the help of some incredible countries that want this to be ended because it affects them also. A lot of people are affected by this. But we're giving them till tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time. And after that, they're going to have no bridges. They're going to have no power plants. Stone Ages, yeah. Stone Ages. CNN fake news.
Are you willing to make a deal that does not include reopening the Strait of Hormuz, or is that now a top priority?
I would say it's a very big priority because, see, that's one thing that's a little different than other things. We can bomb the hell out of them. We can knock them out for a loop. But to close the strait, all you need is one terrorist that somehow has a truck loaded with, because you can carry them in trucks, large trucks, a water mine, drop them in the water, and now you tell people that own ships that cost $1 billion to don't worry about the mine. You can do that even just by saying we put mines in the water. So it's not like the rest. We can knock out their military. We already have. We've knocked out their Navy. We've knocked out their Air Force completely. We've knocked out 158 ships in 3 days. We've knocked out even their mine droppers. They don't have any mine droppers anymore, but they put them on other boats, and they could drop them. I'm not even sure they have any mines there, by the way. I'm not sure. I'm personally, they say there might be 8. I don't know. I think there might be none because they're very good bullshit artists. That's why for 47 years they've been bullshitting other presidents, and they haven't done the job. And people are living in hell. You live in that country, they're living in hell. No, I think that 47.
James Devlin says truck will sink ships. Maybe if that truck is loaded onto the ship as cargo and has bad things on it to sink the ship. That's a possibility. But yeah, that was a little interesting, right?
7 years of this stuff is long enough. They're at the weekend.
Lone Wolf and Cub jumping in on the chat saying, ever heard of Jerome Powell? Not even the president is above him. He is above the law.
Highest point they've ever been. They have no Navy, they have no Air Force, they have no anti-aircraft weaponry, they have no radar, they have no communication. In fact, the biggest problem we have in our negotiation is that they can't communicate. I said to Steve, what are they saying? Sir, they can't communicate. They have no method of communication. So we're communicating like they used to communicate 2,000 years ago with children, bringing a note back and forth. They have no communication. But all I want to see is I want to have a safe world, and you're not going to have a safe world. Israel will be gone, the Middle East will be gone, and then they're coming for Europe. And I have to tell you, I'm very disappointed in NATO, very. I think that NATO, I think it's a mark on NATO that will never disappear in my mind. You know, they're coming to see me on Wednesday, they're going to say, oh, we'll do this, we'll do that. Now they all of a sudden want to send things, you know. But they said...
And this is a picture of Mr. Jerome Powell, just in case you don't know.
It loud and clear at the beginning when I spoke to you. That wouldn't have been possible. 101 missiles heading to a ship that's not that far off the coast. And out of the 101 missiles, we shot down all 101. We have weaponry. The Patriots are unbelievable. We have weaponry.
There we go. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And just to shake it up a little bit, let's see what General Aladdin says in roast. Actually, let's see how you can look super cool. This is kind of important. How you doing, Nicole? Good to see you. We got Debuno. How you doing, buddy? Saying the Diddycrats hate America, but they won't leave. If you type colon, what was it? We got the nose ring. Septum, colon, you will find a nose ring. This is on Sal, cool. Sometimes we need to laugh, right?
Thank you for your support.
That's for Mr.
I love you. Wishing you and your family the best.
Mr. Steve, as you know, man of the day. So this is Sal, just like looking and feeling cool, because every single one of you are really cool. Check this out.
Super cool.
Oh, yeah.
One normal cheeseburger. Do you guys put a sauce on it?
Yeah, we can do any sauce you like. That's the whole point. What kind of cheese would you like, miss?
Cheddar.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, well, I see you've got that whole swag thing going on.
Does that make you happy? Oh my gosh, man. These guys are funny. These guys are funny.
Thank you for your support. I love you.
Everyone loves Steven, man. Oh my gosh. Everybody loves Steven. So Netanyahu expels Spanish representatives. This is a little interesting. I do not intend to allow any country to wage a political war against us without paying an immediate price for it. Israel will not remain silent in the face of those who attack us. Spain has slandered our heroes, the soldiers of the IDF, the most moral army in the world. And so, today I ordered the expulsion of Spain's representatives from the debate center in Kiryat Gat. After Spain chose time and again to stand against Israel. Those who attack the state of Israel instead of the terrorist regimes, those who do so will not be our partners regarding the future of the region. I am not willing to tolerate this hypocrisy and this hostility. I do not intend to allow any country to wage a political war against us without paying an immediate price for it.
בלי לשלם על כך מחיר מיידי.
There you go, direct from the source. Mr. Double B Netanyahu. It's so interesting. It's so delicate, you know. Spain's not in an easy position. Israel is not in an easy position. It's just so delicate. It's like doing surgery on hairs. You know, it's just absolutely delicate. Or I don't even know, man. I don't even know. It's a tough one. This whole thing's a tough one. Terry from the Philippines says, World Gallup poll found most people on planet Earth believe the U.S. is the greatest threat to world peace and want China to lead a collision of peace-loving nations against the United States. There you go. Something direct from the Philippines. Thank you for your chat, buddy. We got Leslie Heatley jumping on the chat saying, yeah, look at Charlie Kirk. There you go. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. We're going live every day of 2026. And would be happy to have you on board. Become a member. Throw in a super chat. Be as amazing as Mr. Stephen Wells. Stephen Wells is amazing. Everybody loves Stephen Wells. And this is something very interesting. Mr. Island Man and the secret Bitcoin and Coinbase investment are revealed, which is kind of interesting. It's interesting that he knew about that before everybody and that he was a huge investor in it as well, which gives you something to think about. Definitely.
Epstein apparently heard about Bitcoin really early on in 2011 through this guy called Brock Pierce. So he hears about it.
Okay, 2011.
Super early. In give me the year, like 2011. So only 2 years after it came into existence.
Yeah.
So the number of people that were aware of Bitcoin at that point had to be tiny. Hundreds of thousands of people, maybe a few million. Jeffrey Epstein was into Bitcoin before 90% of the people who are now supporters of it even knew it existed. I will stand by that fact like forever. So you just have to kind of like accept that. Not only did he find it, he said the idea is brilliant. Not only that, he actively like supported the industry. So at one point in 2015, there's this group of developers that maintain Bitcoin's operating system. It's called Bitcoin Core Development. And there are people behind Bitcoin. So Epstein funded the developers, the people running the operating system, secretly through the MIT Media Lab, which is its own amazing story of criminal activity, effectively.
The MIT Media Lab?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. There's a big article on this in 2019 in The New Yorker, and then with the most recent...
New documents show that the MIT Media Lab was aware of Epstein Island Man's status as a convicted S3X offender, and that Island Man directed contributions to the lab far exceeding the amounts MIT has publicly admitted. Oh, so they're getting a little bit more money from Mr. Island Man. MIT Elite University Research Center. So does this mean Bitcoin was developed in MIT? I don't know. Allegedly.
Emails, we have confirmation that yes, Epstein paid secretly for these. Invested in Coinbase. He put $3 million into Coinbase. It appears that executives knew that the money was coming from Epstein, because Brock asks Epstein, "Is it okay?"
Is this making a full circle with who's it? Dan Pena. He said, "If you knew who was behind Bitcoin, you would drop that, and that's the reason that's going to zero. Just to give you a heads up, I have zero knowledge about any of these cryptocurrencies, so I'm just communicating between the arguments I hear. Don't know anything, have any first-hand knowledge on any of these things, and I'm not giving any financial advice.
Okay, everybody tell them, who you are. He invests in this other company.
Where are you from? Israel. What's one thing Americans should know about the tension between Israel and Palestine?
Whatever it's on TV and news, it's not always correct. Of course, we're humans. Nobody is 100% imperfect. You gotta go there to see what's actually going on.
What you're saying is people in Israel, people in Palestine, they don't really hate each other like they're...
Yeah, you remember Dan Bania said that for sure.
It's portrayed.
It's more government and there is more behind that. Whatever it's on TV and news, do not take it seriously.
Yeah, you can't really take it seriously. Yeah, very interesting. Theo Von, one of the funniest comedians on earth, broke Tucker Carlson.
So how's it been 18 months?
It's been good, man. I love it,
How were the first 6 weeks?
That's the toughest part.
Oh, I know. I've been there.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
What did you have to get off of?
Oh, you name it.
Did you have some pretty crazy nights or no?
I had a few.
Yeah. Tucky.
Yeah.
Tucky going crazy.
But yeah, it's been 21 years, but yeah.
But you can drink though?
No. I can do a little blow, I can drink, but other than that, I'm totally sober. It's a modified Shepherd.
Who was your sponsor, Shepard Smith?
Oh, what's the deal with Shepard Smith? I don't understand that. What's he known for? Career at Fox. I don't understand that joke.
I want to know.
Okay, that's funny, but I'm not going to comment on it beyond that.
No, and no dig to Shepard. I'm a fan of Shepard.
Yeah.
But he's just a legend in a lot of circles from a lot of friends of mine from different colleges.
How do you know all this? It's like,
dude, it's easy. You just be alive and you just pay attention.
Oh man, I hope Tucker's not okay with Sharia law. Stephen Wells says Tucker's just fine with Sharia law. Did he say that? If he did, I don't know what to say about Tucker, man. Hegseth allegedly fired the army chief of chaplains. It's an unusual move, very weird, and it usually does not happen. So...
Within the last few weeks, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has dismissed several top-ranking military officials from their positions, and that's included Army Chief of Chaplains Major General William Green Jr. I spoke to a military chaplaincy expert, and she said it's...
Paul Saul said, jumping in on the chat, saying Tehran's Olympics should be held in Iran. Yeah, man, see what happens.
Incredibly unusual for a chief of chaplains to be dismissed. She said there have been cases before where there's a gap in between the tenures of two chiefs of chaplains, but she said it's usually brief and because of a retirement, but the Pentagon hasn't offered a public reason why Green was dismissed, and that's raising concerns from various individuals and organizations, including lawmakers and Green's denomination, the National Baptist Convention, who have commended his service and questioned why he was dismissed, given that he has a very positive reputation within the military. I also spoke to a retired military chaplain who talked about how important faith is to a lot of service members and how important a chief of chaplains is in guiding military chaplains in providing resources to those service members.
Santiago says, look at Tucker's face. Traitor as Taylor Greene and Liz Cheney. Los Airs. Can you give any Can you give me a reason? The reason you feel that way? Sorry you feel that way. Lone Wolf, can't say that one, buddy.
As they're carrying out their duties. And he said it leaves an enormous gap to not have a chief of chaplains. I reached out to the Army to ask if they have a timeline for when they'll be announcing a new chief of chaplains, and they didn't respond to that question, but they did say the work is currently being carried out by the deputy chief of chaplains.
There you go. That's cool. He's got some crosses on him. Yeah, so what happens whenever the Army Chief of Chaplains is fired? There's the man, Mr. Green. Oh, Mr. Stephen Wells dropping the big red 50 USD in the chat. Thank you so much, buddy. Saying you have an amazing ability to maintain a two-sided chat. Hopefully it will continue, brother. Thank you. Appreciate it. Veronica, come back. Show some support for Mr. Stephen Wells.
Thank you for your support. I love you. Wishing you and your family the best.
There we go. W's in the chat for Steve, man. Keeping this channel alive. That's incredible. Thank you, Cali Chica. All right. Have a good nap. So, what do you think, chat? Is it a bad sign? Does this mean that Mr. Green did not agree with Hegseth and his politics, or what's going on, or was not subservient, didn't want to do his job, or this is a very interesting one. And as always, we gotta laugh a little bit. Theo Von has no filter. I don't know if he's talking about the Army Chief of Chaplains or somebody else, but let's see how Theo can make us laugh.
Yeah, I grew up in a mixed neighborhood, dude, and black people don't really know, they don't differentiate between indoors and outdoors.
What do you mean?
Outdoors can be indoors, dude.
What do you mean?
Outdoors can be indoors. Black person, you can put them outdoors and you put them indoors, same volume levels, same speed.
There's no inside voice.
There's zero inside voice.
There's no etiquette when you go indoors.
Well, they just don't. I don't think they believe in like a lot of structures and.
It's so incredibly vaguely racist. It's so funny though.
Theo Von always can make people laugh, man. Just a funny guy. Bless Theo Von. Mohammed bin Salman stuns Trump, blocks Netanyahu. What's going on over here? How you
Saudi
doing,
Crown
Diane?
Prince Mohammed bin Salman has once again made it clear that Saudi Arabia is not ready to move forward with any formal Israel.
Waffle Jackson. I think Waffle Jackson is a U.S. vet hero, if I'm not mistaken. And he says, I'd lean heavy toward Green being sympathetic to deep state, but that's me, though. Well, if Green is being sympathetic to the deep state, wouldn't that help him keep his position, or am I completely wrong here? Thank you for your chat, buddy. Very interesting.
Israel-Arab normalization package unless there is a credible and irreversible path toward Palestinian statehood, a position Riyadh has repeated publicly, even as Donald Trump continues to push for a wider expansion of the Abraham Accords. Recent reporting and analysis in 2026 also indicate that Washington is still pressing for a breakthrough, but the Saudi position remains firm, and the current Israeli leadership is widely seen as a major obstacle to any immediate.
How you doing, Layden? Good to see you. Lauren Harrington. I support the LGBTQ community. Liquor, G word, beer, T word, and Q word community. Oh, Waffle Jackson is not a veteran, brother. Oh, sorry. Thought you were a veteran. Sorry. But thank you for your input anyways.
immediate deal. What was being presented as a
And thank you for not stealing your valor, buddy.
possible diplomatic breakthrough is now running into a very hard regional reality. Donald Trump has been publicly signaling that he wants Saudi Arabia to join a broader normalization framework with Israel, hoping to expand on the Abraham Accords and present it as a major geopolitical achievement.
Okay. We got Layden saying it's all smoke and mirrors. So before we just go past this, I just kind of want to understand this. The Abraham Accords are a series of peace agreements brokered by the Trump administration in 2020 that normalized relations between Israel and several Arab nations, primarily United Arab Emirates, UAE, and Bahrain, with additional countries later joining. Okay. Key details: a framework for diplomatic, economic, and security cooperation between Israel and participating Arab states bypassing the traditional Israel-Palestine peace process. UAE, September 2020. Bahrain, same date. Sudan, Morocco, and various other Arab nations have since participated or expressed interest. What changed? For decades, most Arab nations maintained official boycotts of Israel. The Accords broke that pattern by establishing trade agreements, investment partnerships, tourism and cultural exchange, security cooperation, technology partnerships. Okay, that's the Abraham Accords. The reason it matters, this agreement shifted Middle East geopolitics by showing that Israel could normalize relations with Arab states without first resolving the Palestinian conflict, something considered impossible in previous decades. And there's a controversy. Palestinian leadership criticized it as abandonment. Critics argue it deprioritizes Palestinian statehood in favor of Arab-Israeli commercial interests. And the current status in 2026, the framework remains in place, though recent geopolitical tensions like the Iran escalations, the Gaza conflicts, have tested its stability. So just to sum it up in like one sentence, a simple version: Israel made peace deals with Arab nations without solving the Israel-Palestine issue first, breaking a 70-year diplomatic pattern. We're going live every single day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want, become amazing like Mr. Stephen Wells, one of the best people on earth. And allegedly, Candace Owens has no friends. Come on, she's got plenty of friends.
The most valuable currency you have are the relationships you have, your friends. In my opinion, she's burned every bridge she's ever been associated with. Whether that's Turning Point USA, whether that's the Daily Wire, whether that's PragerU, Charlie Kirk, Steven Crowder. I don't know what's going on even in this room, but it's not like we're loving what she's doing these days. I'm asking you a serious question. Who are her friends at this point?
Well,
to me, she's very lonely.
No, I think she's very close with Tucker. I do think she has a group
How many
of
more
friends.
can you name, though? Other than Tucker,
Yeah.
genuine question. I'm not trying to throw her under the bus. Who's Candace's friends? Who are her allies? Can we name a name? Anyone?
Oh,
Anyone?
She's got more than you would believe.
Name a name.
No, she's got a lot.
She's got more than you would believe. Oh, man. I think Candace is such a polarizing figure. She probably has a lot of friends, but she also has a lot of people who are not too fond of her, you know? Oh, there we go. Stephen Wells says Candace Owens has followers, not friends. Yeah, that's also a possibility. Yeah.
A lot of them.
I'm sure that there's
does.
Twitter army out there.
Yeah,
but what famous...
Stephen Wells jumping on the chat saying, I believe that the U.S. and world economy will dramatically pick up in the upcoming year. That's the optimism we need, y'all. We're developing the best chat in the world. Make sure you subscribe and join. and enjoy.
Names advocates are saying, I'm with Candace. Tucker, maybe? Who else?
No,
I can't name one.
First thing I'd like to clarify is I have never been friends with Steven Crowder. I just feel like that is really not good dirt to throw on my name. I just have better intuition than that. Secondly, my friend Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck, hence the reason we're doing this entire podcast investigation into what actually happened on that day. Now, you seem to be naming employers regarding the Daily Wire. I am still friends with every single one of my colleagues that I was friends when I went in there. And yeah, when you leave a job, you don't tend to hang out with management on your way out. So
Rudy Armenta says Candace sold out.
I'm not sure what you're referencing here. If you mean that I am not one of those basic bitches who needs to post every second of when I'm hanging out with people so that people think that I'm cool and I'm surrounded by individuals, you would be right. Because I'm a person who grew up on Kanye West's music, and it's so funny that I was blasting his early music, one of his first songs, All Falls Down, and he speaks about this. This is how they create the Matrix. Insecure men speak like that, okay? They want people who are insecure to allow terrible things to happen because they say, well, you can hang out with me. You can hang out with me. All you have to do is just not talk about the Epstein files, and you might get invited to Mar-a-Lago. Don't you want to be invited to Mar-a-Lago? Don't you want to go to Mar-a-Lago? Then why don't you look away when we talk about children being abused? It's so weird. Like, don't you want to have like really all of the invites to Mar-a-Lago and you can hang out?
Mar-a-Lago. Stephen Wells jumping down in the chat saying Candace Owens just lied. Steven Crowder was her friend, or she was lying the whole time. So she was lying before, or she's lying now. One of them. There you go. Let's see what Steven Crowder looks. Yeah, Steven Crowder. Here we go. This is Mr. Steven Crowder. Louder with Steven Crowder. Okay, what would she lie about that for? You know. Or she got scared because of Kirk, says Rudy Armenta.
Out and get dressed up and hang out with cool people in Hollywood. If you just
Lone Wolf and Cub says, what is Candace going to do when Tyler Robinson is found guilty? Good question.
look the other way when children are being abused, this is that mentality, okay? It's disgusting, it's gross, but more importantly, it is insecure. So I want to remind you guys that your real friends do not need to be famous, okay? My best
Jason Beatrice says, I only see Candace on this channel.
friends are not famous, and you should be close with your family. You should have real value in your life. Part of the Matrix requires you to have this sort of instinct to think celebrities are cool and that they glitter and they're golden. The majority of them.
Yeah, Stephen Wells says Candace Owens was on Crowder's show a while ago. There you go.
Are pretty effed up and drunk.
Stephen Crowder, Candace Owens show. That's her with Ben Shapiro. Yeah, she was probably on the shows at one point, for sure. Iran decried as apocalyptic death cult. As veteran says, Trump has all the cards. Okay.
Thank you for your support. I love you.
Everybody loves Stephen Wells.
Here with analysis, U.S. Army Special Forces veteran Jim Hansen.
Okay, we got that one. Does this mean you guys are over Candace Owens, or you like seeing about her?
Are we ever going to have another opportunity to force depositions? Are we ever going to have an opportunity to have the power of subpoena? He is making claims that he rendered first aid. This would give us the opportunity to then say, oh, Terrell Farnsworth actually has footage that the public has never seen from every angle. We can now take a look. We want to see this footage and subpoena this footage so that we can see what happened on the ground if you are asserting that you did provide critical aid. Will we ever have an opportunity to do this ever again? Can we look at this situation where you're saying, oh, this conspiracy, all these people are involved. You're bringing up Terrell Farnsworth, Mikey McCoy. You're bringing up these episodes where we discussed Erika. Can we now sit these people for a deposition? Can we now demand these text messages? He's saying there's no conspiracy here. Can we now say, okay, well, we'd like to discover that. We'd like to actually look at all of the evidence and be able to come up with an argument. And we're gonna need access. We're gonna need access to everybody's text messages if that's what you are asserting. If you are saying that I have defamed you and you are a part of the Turning Point USA brand, you're saying, you're mentioning Erika Kirk. Is this the only plausible path that we will have before us to get Erika Kirk to sit for deposition? To answer basic questions that we've been asking for actually a very long time. If that's the
She actually offered $10,000 to get a second angle of that lady who was videotaping Erika Kirk at the dinner. And we got some facts over here in the chat from Lone Wolf and Cub saying July 2006, Trump called the cops an island man. 2019, Trump's administration locked up island man. 2025, Trump signed the bill to release the files. Democrats got money from him and hid the files. Okay. That's a little wild. Are you guys into UFC? Because Sean Strickland is going to be fighting Kazmat Shimaev. And
thank you for your support.
There you go. Veronica's coming up. Yeah, so let's see what's going on over here. So this is a 300-pound dude going against Strickland. Dude's fast for 300 pounds. How he just grabbed his neck and rolled around, dude. Oh my gosh, dude. These guys just absolutely wild, man. Absolutely wild. That's going to be an incredible fight. I hope Strickland does well on that one. Jason Beatrice thinks the most dangerous fight of Strickland's career is Kazmat. Yeah, politics is good, but sometimes you're like, oh man, that's just too much. And here's Prates cutting weight 10 pounds in 2 hours just to make his fight. This is unreal, man. He has to put the sweatsuit on, a t-shirt, another sweatsuit. He's going through it, man. Dangerous fighter, too. Yeah, that's not healthy. 10 pounds, absolutely not healthy. And Joe Rogan has been like a proponent of being completely against this because it's so dangerous. They should just fight at their own weight classes, you know, like it's good. They're shredded and all that stuff, but no, man, it's not healthy at all for their organs and for their mind. You You know, when you get dehydrated and you get knocked out, those concussions can be even worse if you're not properly hydrated, because water is what keeps your brain from hitting that hard thing that is your skull. You know, that's pretty bad.
Stranger.
Yeah. And this is a very interesting thing going on over here. This is a backyard bonfire like you've never seen probably before. Jason Beatrice, a Strickland fight is kind of political. Strickland made it that way. Yeah. Oh man. Very cool idea. There has to be some type of like air rotating this. I don't understand how this is working, but it's very, very cool. So that's all fire. It's a big outdoor heater and light butane flame. Yeah. There you go. Just absolutely so cool. And there's an issue with Elon Musk suing OpenAI, who is supposed to be a nonprofit organization, but obviously not following the rules.
Offer Elon shares in the company, but he thought that there was something kind of icky about it. Do you remember this?
Yes.
Because at one point I said on our show, when this dispute started happening before it became a court case, I said, look, if OpenAI at a certain point decided they had the wrong structure, they should have just gone and done a make right with Elon, and he should have been a shareholder on the cap table. What I didn't know is that apparently they did try to do something like that, but Elon turned it down because he did want the entity to remain a charitable entity.
Yes.
See what I mean?
Rudy loves that flame, saying, love it, wish I could have it on my backyard. Yeah, man, just build it. No reason not to, right? Be inspired, man. The only thing stopping you is yourself. If you love it that much, figure it out. Actually, I'll share a link right now. I'll call it the butane flame backyard. Tree Roji. What do you mean by that? Rudy says, I'm broke. Only for now, man. Only for now. You could always figure it out. Steve Wells confirms it's definitely butane. That's where I got the name from anyway, so that's cool.
Had a principled view of it according to the reports, and was like, no, we're trying to save humanity, and then you're giving this keys to the kingdom to Microsoft. That's all come out. And I also have not talked to Elon about any of this, but my guess is, like most of these things, there'll be some sort of settlement or something here, but maybe he takes it to the mat. Who knows?
Yeah. You don't know. You never know. You guys have thoughts on Elon Musk and OpenAI? What's going to happen there? Paul Sam says, stop wasting fuel. We got our Honda saying, procreate with Elon Musk. There you go. WT Mudhen, do you know? Says, everything you guys claim about Trump is the polar opposite of reality, and I've known that MF since the 90s in New York. You personally knew him? Very cool, very cool. Lucky you. Do you have any inside stories that nobody knows about or no one heard about? And did you know him personally? And if you did, that'd be cool to get like 2 or 5 or 10 minutes of you on the pod, on the video, on the live stream. That'd be really cool if you're open to it. And by the way, we're going live every day of 2026, so make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. And Ian Carroll says, we have to watch this video to understand who is actually at war with who right now. So let's see if this is something we can watch.
The achievement of a broader peace. When history is within reach.
So what Israel is fighting here is not merely a 7-front war, but an 8-front war. For the Jews against Rome.
Rome
and Jerusalem clashed over values.
That's a little interesting. I don't know if I've ever heard that one before.
With a great tragedy for the Jewish people. Well, we lost that one. We have to win the next one. But the new Rome, the United States, Jews against Rome.
We stopped playing defense and have moved to offense.
The weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well.
But we need the kind of genius that manufactured Apollo gold pagers and infiltrated Hezbollah for over a decade to prepare for this battle.
But we have to fight with a weapon.
Apollo gold pagers, is that the ones they use to attack Hezbollah? Apollo gold, there you go.
Weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media.
Because the next war will be decided based on how Israel and its allies perform online as much as offline.
Gotham. Dez says that's what extinguished Charlie. Same tech. A lot of people have been saying that, absolutely. And that same company, I think 15 people were extinguished because one of those things accidentally went off in the manufacturing plant. May their souls rest in peace, and may Charlie's soul rest in peace too. Do we have any confirmation on that, Gotham? Would be nice to know. Kurt jumping in on the chat. How you doing, buddy? Rome kicked the Jews out of Israel around 70 CE. Christ existed. Okay. Gotham does. A CIA guy used CIA software to show explode S-ion came from under the t-shirt. Oh, very cool. Do you have a link to that vid?
This is the 8th front, the disinformation campaign.
It is actually this 8th front where our enemy...
Wait, is that a whole circle? Because the Romans did that, but the Jews were the ones that pushed Jesus towards the Romans, allegedly. And then Israel is against Rome.
Enemies believe they can actually defeat the Jewish state.
This is the kind of ingenuity and inventiveness that have always been a hallmark of the state of Israel.
Okay. Hassan has an episode breaking down the video. Thank you, Gotham. Jews turned on Jesus. Yeah.
That have always been a characteristic of the Jewish people.
Steve Wells says humans did that. Yeah, absolutely. Humans are not perfect, unfortunately.
People, I know we can do it.
A lot of this is done with money.
Invested billions.
And that's the thing, we got to be careful. Like you say, like, oh, it's the Rome or Romans or Jews or Israelis. You got to be careful whenever you like categorize people. You don't really want to categorize people, if possible.
And billions of dollars in the information battlefield.
Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vast.
Stephen Wells says, we live in a fallen world. Well, hopefully it gets better. 100%. I hope it gets better. And always good to be optimistic and think about how you can make your life better and your family's life better, and then your friends, and then your community. And, you know, it just starts like that, right? Everybody helping each other slowly but surely.
Bastard.
We prohibit harmful stereotypes about Jewish people, such as claims that Jews control financial, political, or media institutions.
You're damn right we're going to cancel them and deplatform them.
We monitor them online, social media, messaging apps, video games, cryptocurrency,
Hitler admirers, Stalin admirers, Jew haters,
podcasts, short form video, Wikipedia, LLM,
American haters, Churchill haters.
We monitor these people and we share the intelligence with the FBI.
You think your stupid little podcast is going to change the world like hell it is?
Social media, this is the new battlefield.
You don't get to rap your psychotic, mental, unhinged Nazi.
We do not allow Holocaust denial and distortion.
And the most important purchase that is going on right now is
TikTok.
TikTok, number one.
For every 30 minutes that someone watches TikTok, they become 17% more anti-Semitic.
So you have TikTok just smashing our young people's brains all day long with video of carnage in Gaza.
We really have a TikTok problem.
Because anything that we try to say to them, they are hearing it through this.
Oh, is that what happened with TikTok? Is that the reason TikTok was so desired?
Wall of carnage, and I sound obscene.
Lone Wolf and Cub says Hassan Piker is the product of cousin marriage. There you go, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Going live every day of 2026. Become a member if you want. Throw in a super chat if you want. And we got former DIA agent saying she got a point.
Anti-Zionism is just Jew hatred.
We made a change
We updated our policies
to designate the use of the term Zionist
to recognize that the term Zionist
as a proxy for a protected attribute
can be used as a proxy for Jews and Israelis.
as hate speech.
Why can't Israel be doing some sort of, counterintelligence?
Right now, the ADL is co-writing Sunday school curriculum.
Information warfare like this.
It's building the technology to train the LLMs more effectively.
Like psychological operations in America.
As part of a robust
LLM, I think they're talking about a long language model for AI. Yeah, large language model, advanced artificial intelligence systems built on deep neural networks, specifically the transformer architecture, that are trained on vast amounts of text data to understand, process, and generate human-like language. They function as sophisticated statistical prediction engines that analyze patterns, grammar, and context within massive data sets to predict the most probable next word or token in a sequence, enabling capabilities such as natural conversation, code generation, summarization, and translation.
framework to combat anti-Semitism, we have industry-leading policies designed with the safety of the Jewish community in mind.
You're right, we control the media. So what are you going to do about it? You're going to bitch on Twitter? Like, okay. Meanwhile, we're going to control more of the media.
And working with OpenAI, with Alphabet, with Anthropic, with Meta, with Microsoft, we are working with them now to train the LLMs.
We also have, I think, over 24 Jewish organizations that are constantly feeding us intelligence and information.
Dark Omega jumping in on the chat saying, hey brother, glad to see you're up again. Hope you have a wonderful Saturday. And remember, as always, facts will always trump feelings. Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely. Facts always trump feelings.
So number one, we measure and track. Number two, we monitor and disrupt. We have a whole apparatus. I have 40 analysts working full time, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, monitoring extremists.
Monitoring campuses, digital networks, activists.
Stephen Wells says, I've been around the block a few times. I never remember anti-Semitism being this susceptible before in my lifetime. Yeah.
Groups and public officials.
We have several PhDs on staff.
Kurt LSU jumping in on the chat saying, not all Jews are bad. There you go. Stephen Wells says, Jews are human. Not all humans are bad. Yeah. Absolutely, 100%.
We have a network of academics and scholars we work with around the country.
I've talked to the leaders of AI in the world, and you ask yourself, there's so many blessings in this, but there could be a curse.
First thing a country needs to do is to unify all of their data so it can be consumed and used by the AI model.
We need to invest in intelligence to understand who are the anti-Semites, who's funding them, what's their plans, who are the leaders. And then once we have that, we can define who is an enemy we can attack.
You have to take all of your healthcare data, your diagnostic data, your genomic data. We have to take all of this data we have in our country and move it into a single, if you will, unified data platform.
Once we have all this information, we need to empower and mobilize an ecosystem of many organizations that we can incentivize them to work together, to share, and to fight against our common enemies.
Mobilizing millions of people, of allies that are quietly by our side.
Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
You know, anti-Semites, most of these people running around, we're not going to win their hearts and minds because they don't have hearts and they don't have minds. So, you know, how are we going to, there's no reason to think we're ever going to convince them, but we can deport them, we can put them in jail, we can make their lives miserable, we can cut off their funding.
You've got all these conspiracy theorists online going on and on about how, you know, if you try and say anything, if you try and do anything against Jews, they're going to come after you.
We have featured more than 1,000 anti-Semites.
And they're going to destroy you and take away your business, and therefore you have to be really, really scared.
These Jew haters have faced real consequences, including firings, suspensions, and expulsions.
And it's kind of starting to become true.
We will shine a light on you that will follow you for the rest of your life. When you look for a job, when you look for a spouse, when you look for a nanny, when you look for anything.
And I love that. I love it.
We remove hate speech against Zionists when these harmful stereotypes about Jews are invoked.
In the past 12 months, ADL's filed more lawsuits than the prior 112 years.
Over the weekend, I received concerning news that I was being sued for $5 million.
Vicious, communist, racist, Jew-hating, Israel-bashing monster.
Defendant frequently posts anti-Israel rhetoric accusing Israel of controlling the United States and its politicians.
We at the ZOA will fight these dangerous and monstrous lies with all of our hearts and souls. No appeasement, no conciliation, only a war against this racist hatred of the Jewish people.
When there is a war, it doesn't matter who your enemy is. You need to destroy their offspring to prevent them from creating more offspring.
What you try to do is you want to corral your victim, but in fact, your countries are the victim. So you dehumanize a group of people in human society, and you prepare them for the kill, for the butchery.
Yeah, Kurt LSU says comedians should be allowed to cross the line. I don't like when they censor comedy. 100%. I think you need that thing where there's no lines, like Tony Hinchcliffe and their comedy, and Andrew Schultz and Theo Von. Those guys just cross the line all the time, and they're just so hilarious, And I think comedy is art, and art should be protected, but obviously not to the extent where the comedy is inspiring people to hurt each other, but to laugh, big deal. Laughing's amazing, right? Speaking of, we got some comedy coming up right after this, unless you guys are ready for it right now.
A government can do in 2 months more than any organization can do in its lifetime.
The J7 is comprised of the 7 largest diaspora
Got them. Thank you. Did you link it on here, or did you link it in my Discord?
communities. We meet every other week via Zoom to share information, to share best practices.
And we're running everything all the time, from focus groups to attitudinal surveys to randomized controlled trials to identify what interventions work most effectively.
Finally, we have meetings that are some off the record, some on the record with world leaders, in which we share our community's concerns and call for.
Speaking of comedy, I just got to watch it right now. All right, so we got these guys. They got. How are we gonna do this? These guys are just complete goofballs. That's how I can start this. But a good time. But a good time.
Let's
Got a little bit of music, singing, whatever.
Yo, how you going? How the fuck are you going, mate?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, brother. I'm good. Look, if I told you this was a cold call, mate, would you chop my willy off?
Maybe, maybe not. Depends what you're asking for.
I'm curious, bro. Are you using AI in your business at all?
Not really, mate. I've got a very, very small business.
Essentially, we jump on and see if you're possibly leaking any time or money in your business functions and see how we can plug those gaps for you.
Potentially, yeah. I just don't know, like, I guess off the top of my head, I don't know where I'd actually be saving any time, like, the only, yeah.
Would you say you'd be open to perhaps streamlining your workflow just a little bit more if there was a possibility out there?
1:30 on Tuesday. All right, mate. I'll chat to you then.
No worries. See you then.
Thanks, mate. Bye.
Bye.
There you go. And they just have fun, man. That's that's the way to do it, man. That's awesome. Those are some funny dudes right here. That's Liam Burns and the other dude. Yeah. Do we see this one? It says 2 autistic Aussies close a deal. They're obviously not autistic, but awesomely funny.
Oh,
all right, so they're doing the music thing. I just want to pause it. There we go. So Glenny.
Mate, how you going? Good. That's the fucking way. Look, my name's Huddy. I got good news and bad news. What do you want to hear first?
Oh, no. Hit me up.
All right. Good news is, I'm not an Indian. I'm not here to scam you. I'm not here to sell you some bullshit. The bad news is that this is a cold call. But I want to help you out.
Go for it.
Fucking oath. You run a electrical company?
Yep.
Beautiful. Do you use AI in your business at all, man?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit? How so? ChatGPT, what's it looking like?
A bit with that and a bit with just sorting some emails and taking some other info, yeah.
So, like, it handles your customer service, is that what you're saying?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. What we do is we run free consultations with guys like yourself and just see where potentially we could plug in AI here and there.
Yeah, look, we're flat out at the moment, so...
That's exactly why we're calling, man, to make life easier, because I'm sure you fucking do. Yeah, right, bro, so 5 p.m. Friday works for you?
Yeah.
Sweet.
There you go. They kind of just like loosen it up with some inappropriate language, which is, you know, the way that they decide to do it. Good for them. And it works. It works. And comedy does work once in a while. Comedy does work, thankfully.
For action.
The entire education system in this country, from K through 12 and colleges, must be reformed.
But it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it.
The way we solve anti-Semitism is pretty goddamn simple.
That's a little interesting when you limit the First Amendment. Interesting. Let's see what his reasoning behind it.
Control over what they are saying.
Send their ass to jail. It's not complicated.
And quickly before it's too late.
We're monitoring political Islamists and Christian nationalists, all of them. And then we train. We're the largest trainer of law enforcement in America. Extremism hate. We train 20,000 officers every year.
Try that again.
We're here because of the comments made online about the Jewish youth.
We deeply value our partnership with law enforcement. We've been working with them literally since the FBI was founded in the 1930s.
So is that your account? That guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians. That can probably incite somebody to do something radical. That's all we're here to talk about. I would think to refrain from posting things like that.
We are going to have a whole division within the office of the Special Envoy to combat anti-Semitism that is going to work on technology.
We must take all of our technological expertise and all of our available resources to develop methods to launch and win a significant counter-information campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. Danny Sharp jumping in on the chat saying limiting the First Amendment is essentially taking away the First Amendment. I see what you're saying, and what you're doing is jumping on a slippery slope. But I think I understand what you're saying, because you know, you start limiting the First Amendment, and it's like taking an axe and hitting a tree. You know, the tree becomes weaker, and definitely does. But yeah. Stephen Wells jumping in on the chat saying hate speech only exists in the minds of fascists.
The products of our technical capacities, and sometimes technical and intelligence genius, and we're happy to do it.
The office is going to be revamped entirely to be one of the highest profile offices in the State Department.
Because it's not working. Too many young people have never heard of the Holocaust.
The only solution right now is for the governments.
Black Lion jumping down the chat saying, if you take away our First Amendment, then we don't have a country anymore. Hatred, it's been around since the donut time. You cannot control somebody's speech. And we got Stephen Wells saying, at James, 0 lobbying. There you go.
To decide that all the Jews are a protected minority. That means that the government will be obliged to provide the security.
Upgrades to security. Jewish community shouldn't have to be paying for it. But we have to pay for our own armed guards? Are you serious?
To fund the institutions, culture, and that everybody in Europe will learn about the Jewish contribution and why they should cherish Jewish presence.
All your synagogues, all your shuls, all paid for. Everything. Everything that you need is paid for. I, for one, as a Jewish leader, will no longer talk about anti-Semitism in isolation from Israel. It's what we want immediately. If you ask any Jew, what do you want? What do you want? No more protests. No more protests.
Thank you, Christina Anderson. Happy to have you here. By the way, make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, going live every day of 2026, and become a member if you want. Throw in a super chat if you want. We're developing the best community online, as you can tell here.
I'm not an anti-Semite. I just don't like the government of Bibi Netanyahu. No, you're a Jew hater.
Would a group be banned if it accuses Israel of genocide or apartheid?
If those criteria are satisfied, then that is the case.
Any candidate running for a seat in this building, whether for Congress or Senate, we will target them as they target us. Accordingly, we will start a fund to help their opponents.
Beginning already in Q1, hedge funds get set up in Israel so we can become another capital of finance. I'll argue we will beat London within a short decade as the second capital of finance. It's going to be New York as a gateway to America, Hong Kong a gateway to China, Dubai a gateway to Southeast Asia, and Israel as a gateway to other parts of the world.
So we heard earlier about a mission, a goal to bring 1 million immigrants to Israel.
History has proven that when a country starts with allowing anti-Semitism, the results are not kind to that country.
Oh my God.
I want to make a warning to somebody else, and that's American Gentiles. The minute your country is taken over by anti-Semitism, the minute you start to be a country that's not blessing Israel but cursing Israel, you have begun the process of shrinking away from your empire.
This is unreal. Stephen Wells just gifted 20 memberships to Inner Circle. Oh my God. Bless Stephen Wells. What a nice man. This is unreal. This is just absolutely unreal. Veronica, please show some love to Mr. Stephen Wells. What a man. What a man.
Thank you for your support. I love you. Wishing you and your family the best.
Go on and do your push-ups. That's incredible. Christina says, I actually have 337 on my upper right arm. That's amazing. What does that mean? David says, Double B needs to be brought before the ICC. And then what? Oh my gosh. Look at that. Congratulations to Fran Riggins, Brennell. This is just absolutely incredible. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Stephen Wells. Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you so much. It helps so much. Incredible.
And you can decide. You can.
Very cool, Christina. Very cool. W's in the chat for Mr. Stephen Wells, man.
Stay here in New York in a declining empire, or you can come to Israel, which is part of the rising middle of the world, which is moving south and east. That's what I encourage you to do.
Our faith in the American project itself has been shaken. The only serious answer to this challenge is to believe again that being Jewish is the most important thing in the world.
When we're kicked out of America and America, the whole thing is done, the whole American Jewish project is done, we're gonna be fine.
For decades, American society allowed Jews to live normal lives. This was a pleasant holiday from our destiny. The holiday is over.
The Western culture that stands against the Jews is going down. The West will survive only if it decides to love itself and if it decides to love us, the Jewish people.
The Jewish people are not normal. We never really were.
And now that Israel has turned the entire geopolitical situation on its head, our job in the diaspora is to leverage those wins and win here. Do to our enemies here what Israel did to its enemies there.
And to the world, I say this: history will not remember those who merely denounced hatred in polite language. History will remember those who acted.
This is a small bunch of wannabe Nazis. That's what they are.
Anti-Semitism is pure evil.
If we have to hunt you down the way they hunted down Nazis for decades, we will find your identities, we will find you, we will achieve justice.
I think we're at the cusp of a new age, because I think that we will achieve the expansion of peace. I think that we are at a new age because I think that the possibilities of technology, with their risks, especially in AI, but with their positive benefits, are enormous. In every field, I mean, from agriculture to health to transportation and I think that we are together, we can lead this and become not a secondary power, but a primary power.
Yeah, there you go. That's from Harrison H. Smith. Yeah, very, very interesting to see the approach and yeah, a very fine line to walk on that one as well. That's a tough one to say. Stephen Wells says, people seem to forget that every nation on earth protects its borders throughout history. That's true. Danny Sharp saying, for speaking and wanting this due to atrocities that have happened to them throughout history. So tough, man. Just so tough.
Yeah, the new NIH director on. But the thing that we are working.
We have a Vietnam vet. There you go. Thank you for your service, Lauren. Very, very nice. Very nice. Oh, I didn't see the first one. Sorry, Danny. Danny Sharp says, in my opinion, throughout history, the Jews are the first to go, then everyone else is next. But that also invents people who are like this, which in turn makes you think you cannot blame them. You got Paula Street saying, this war has been prophesied in the Bible for thousands of years. It's been planned by Illuminati for over 150 years to bring public the doctrine of Lucifer. Look up Albert Pike, Letter to Mazzini, 1871. Ooh, that sounds wild. Kind of scary. Kind of scary. Honestly. Very, very scary. I hope you're not accurate. But you never know. Whatever happens, we will be okay. The Lord is in control. And make sure you all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Going live every day of 2026. And here's Tulsi Gabbard. Let's see what she has to say.
Working with Jay Bhattacharya, the new NIH director, as well as Secretary Kennedy, is looking at the gain of function research that in the case of the Wuhan lab, as well as many of these other biolabs around the world, was actually U.S. funded and leads.
U.S. funded. All right. That's news, right? Not too awesome, but that's still news. My, oh my. Kurt LSU saying, we should be allowed to criticize any people who do wrong individually or collectively. Yeah. If you don't criticize people who do wrong, then does that mean you are enabling them by not criticizing them? Very, very good point. Very good point.
To this dangerous kind of research that in many examples has resulted in either a pandemic or some other major health crisis.
Well, let me ask you specifically, because we already know that EcoHealth Alliance was partnering with this Wuhan lab to do gain of function research.
That's right.
We just have never been able to have somebody say, it was that exact experiment that led to this COVID bug. But have we gotten there? What's the new thing that you're digging in on?
We are working on that with Jay Bhattacharya and look forward to being able to.
Stephen Wells, W's, thank you so much. Stephen Wells says, I got to run. I'll remember to hit the notification plus the thumbs up. Have a blessed day, everyone. Everyone, give some W's to Stephen Wells. He is the man and helped the channel so much with over 25 subscriptions gifted and over 100 US dollars donated. What a gentleman. Bless him and his family, his friends, his community, and the good people on earth. What a good man. Have an amazing weekend. I hope it comes back to you tenfold, buddy. And I'm a firm believer it will. Thank you so much, buddy. Yeah, bless up, Steve.
To share that, hopefully very soon.
Okay.
That specific
link,
correct, between the gain of function research and what we saw with COVID-19.
I mean, that would be extraordinary because just so the audience knows, if that's true.
And Veronica, one more time, come out and say thank you for this, Steve.
Thank you for your support. I love you. Wishing you and your family the best.
There you go, Veronica.
True, if it was Peter Daszak's research with the Wuhan so-called bat lady that caused this pandemic, then we did fund it. Then Anthony Fauci helped fund the pandemic.
The thing that he denied over and over and over to Senator Rand Paul's questioning.
That's right, under oath.
Under oath, exactly. So is it any wonder that he sought a preemptive pardon for anything during a certain period of time by President Biden before he left office?
And then strong-armed and smeared people like Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, anybody who came out and said, I don't know if that's natural.
D Menace jumping in on the chat saying Gaza had meat until October 7th.
This actually smacks of lab.
And the reason why this is so important is not just what happened in the past, it's because this gain of function research is happening in biolabs around the world. I got attacked, and I think you saw this, we've probably talked about it on your show before, when I warned against US-funded biolabs in Ukraine when the Russia-Ukraine war kicked off for this very reason. Who knows what kinds of pathogens are in these labs, and if released, could create another COVID-like pandemic. And for that, I was called a Russian.
Is that who took Narnia? Or Naria? I don't know what Naria is. Never mind, I shouldn't joke. I'm not making fun of anyone there. I just misread.
I said you're, trumpeting Putin's talking points, all of this nonsense, simply for speaking the truth and stating facts that, by the way, are still on U.S. Embassy Ukraine's website today about how the U.S. has funded these biolabs in Ukraine.
Granny's Garden jumping on the chat. And just so you know, if you type : septum : you get none other than a nose with a septum ring. So if you need to celebrate the liberals and their septum rings, just throw in a septum, septum, colon.
But in order to, my point is, in order to prevent another COVID-like pandemic or another major health incident that could affect us in the world, we have to end this gain-of-function research and provide the evidence that shows exactly why and how it's in our best interest, the American people's best interest, to bring about an end to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Is anything going to happen to Fauci? What do you guys think? No, yes, no, yes. How long before you kick the facts? Do you have to be a member? No, you don't have to be a member. I don't think you have to be try it. Do you have to be a member? Let's see. That's the first one. That's the second one. Let me see which one you're in. Oh, here you are. So colon, septum, colon. You can see it in the chat, maybe. Oh, try colon underscore septum colon. Maybe that'll work. Or maybe you have to be a member. I don't know. Oh, you got to be a member. Okay, I see. All right. I guess you got to be a member. I thought everyone can do it. Yeah, that's it. Underscore septum. Oh, man. Oh, man. I guess it's just worth being a member just for that, right? And you get the MAGA. You get everything, man. Oh, my gosh. Oh, Candace. Oh, Candace.
I only speak English.
You did study quick?
I don't understand you.
I'm sorry. But you stay here?
We got a Trump one, too.
Pardon?
You want to stay here? Yes. Please remove. Because this is location for...
And if you become a member and you want like any emojis, we'll definitely throw in a custom emoji just for you.
I'm not understanding
you.
No,
go away. Go other way. Come with me.
No, I'm parking.
Come with me. No parking.
No parking? What do you mean?
Because this is post for him. This location for him.
Well, why not me?
No. I have one location for you. Small. Come with me. Come with me, please. Please, come with me.
No.
Respect. Come with me.
No. I don't know you.
Me too. I don't know you.
Okay, then what are you giving me?
Come with me. This is post for him.
Well, what's this guy doing here? This guy's giving me a hard time.
I'm sorry. No.
Trump's that guy.
He's telling me to move the car. I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, Danny Sharp. It's so wild, man. It's so wild. This is in Rome. And this is Fuentes up here. Nick Fuentes is a very conservative man in outside the Vatican in Rome, Italy. And I think that was just one of those scammers that wants him to move and to pay for parking. So he's trying to get like a 20 euro or 40 euro from the guy. And Nick was like, no, dude, I'm waiting. I'm just here. And someone in the chat mentioned that Candace Owens was actually here in Rome too while he was there.
Hey, thanks. Whoa. Yeah, dude, this fucking homeless guy kept screaming at me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
God, it's nowhere sacred.
Right?
Not even the Vatican.
Right?
Here's your... I got water as well.
Oh, cool.
Vatican, bacon, my crispy.
Oh!
Crispy, my bacon.
No burger?
That is a burger.
I wanted like a hamburger.
That is a hamburger.
That's... Oh, okay.
Yeah, with bacon.
Okay, thanks.
It was an extra 50 cents to get it blessed.
Oh, actually?
I was curious about that too. It looks like an electronic vehicle. I have no idea. It's like rolled up windows. It's kind of daring for him to be doing that, like, you know, with given what he is, but I guess he's a rebel. He cares not, man. He's just going for it. And it seems like he's live streaming. I don't know if he's actually live streaming here, but he's definitely got like some type of security camera going on over here, which is good for him. You know, he if anyone needs it, he's one of them that definitely needs it. So yeah.
Yeah.
What a scam.
Yeah, make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, going live every day of 2026. Become a member, throw in a super chat. I love you. Everybody loves you. We're developing the best community here on the internet, and the Lord loves you.
Was it blessed by the Pope?
Was it blessed by the Pope? Tampon Tim loves Somali fraud stores, and Libby's love Tampon Tim. There you go. Chris J says, makes that guy look NBA. Yeah. And like always, we gotta end this on a good and funny one. Who doesn't like dogs, right? Oops, that's not the one I was looking for.
Thank you for your support.
That's Stephen. That's for Stephen Wells, man. What a legend. What a legend, man. Helped the whole stream so much, keeping us alive, keeping us afloat. What a good man. Is that a good frame? I think so.
Delicious butter. So delicious water, like husky. Do you know, this is so delicious water, like you. I also like to drink this water. So delicious water, like you. Goochie, goochie, goo. Delicious water, like you.
He's got a little bite.
All the time I would like to drink this water. So delicious. Is this delicious or not?
Oh man, so much fun, so much fun. These dogs are so cute. That's from Dog Husky 1994, just to brighten up your day. Make sure you have a good one. Yeah, and we're going live every day of 2026. So make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and you know, we're watching the pursuit of eudaimonia, human flourishing, collide with power politics. Nobody wins when trust breaks. Durkheim knew this. When organic solidarity fractures, enemy sets in, and enemy equals chaos. We're living in the gap right now. Man, it's like watching your whole family find out about each other's secrets at Thanksgiving. Somebody's about to flip the table, right? And double B's got the knife. Watch out. And yeah, make sure you stay tuned, subscribe, turn on those notifications, because we will see you again tomorrow. And if those people start spewing hate, just let that hate roll off of your back like water rolls off of a duck's back. And don't forget, I love you. Everybody in the chat loves you. I'm glad you found us, Danny Sharp. Happy to have you here, buddy. The Lord loves you. And if you need to put on your mouthpiece to fight for your dreams, no worries. Fight for your dreams. All right, y'all. Until next